And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for being here tonight. It's been a while, but I'm glad that I'm back streaming right here on the YouTube channel. If you enjoy the channel, if you enjoy the content in general, please give the video a thumbs up. Give it a share, give it a like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. If you're listening to the show on your favorite audio streaming platform, give me a 5-star rating over there. Thumbs up, review, a share, a comment, whatever you can on that particular platform. I'd appreciate you for that. And if you don't know, this will be available, a live stream will be available as a podcast wherever you are. Apple, iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, Anchor, wherever you are, I'll be there. Just search ABL Live. I'll come right on up. We got a whole lot going on tonight. Oh man, the Blexit Rally, the historic rally that I was at, that I attended. Shout out to Brandon Tatum, Candace Owens, the entire Blexit national team, all the Blexit local chapters, everybody. Shout out to them. Shout out to everybody that came, everybody that I met. You guys are fantastic. We'll talk more about that later on in the show. Also, we got to talk about Hunter Biden and the cocaine and Burisma Holdings and Ukraine and China and Russia and how they're trying to censor that right now on Twitter and Facebook. But they didn't Twitter the P-gate from Trump, the Russia P-gate. It didn't censor the story about Trump's taxes, although that was stolen, obviously. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about Joe Biden battle rappers and much more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And I thank y'all again for being here. Definitely appreciate you guys. If you enjoyed what you're hearing so far, if you enjoyed the content, give me a thumbs up. Share the video, like the video, do all that good stuff. Man, we got a whole lot going on tonight, and I am glad to be back. I want to get straight into Hunter. Hold on. Matter of fact, before I get into Hunter, because I got to get into Hunter, I think I may get into the Blexit Rally first. Then I'm going to get into Hunter. Then I'm going to get into Kyle Rittenhouse and Joe Biden and all that good stuff. Okay, let's talk about the Blexit Rally first. This is on my mind for a while. It's been that way for a little bit, so I got to get it off my mind right now. Shout out to everybody that came to the Blexit Rally. That was a beautiful thing. We had over 2,000 people in the march at the Blexit event. 2,000 people in Washington, D.C. marching to support our police officers. It was called the Back the Blue Rally. Blue meaning law enforcement. That's what you ever seen the thin blue line flag? Matter of fact, you know, I had one for a long time. I still got that thin blue line flag. Matter of fact, the blue line represents law enforcement. So we were out there representing law enforcement. We were supporting them during the march. It was a beautiful thing. It was fantastic. 2,000 people, no craziness, no fighting, no cussing, no nothing. It was all good. It was just a giant love fest. We had a handful of hecklers. I'm talking about literally a handful. There was one lady screeching, and it was a white lady, of course. It was one white lady that was screeching at us with a bullhorn, and she was flanked by like 2 or 3 black guys with Black Lives Matter signs, which was hilarious. But anyway, I saw her a little bit, but I didn't really see her because when I'm out there marching, I had the flag and everything, and I was waving the Blexit flag, and I'm just kind of focused on what's going on around me and all the love and the positive energy. I heard the screeching, and I went over that direction to prevent anybody from engaging with her. I kind of like flanked that direction. Some of you guys saw me in the video. That might have been on Breitbart or Daily Caller. You were like, hey, I see ABL right there, because I came in from the side. That's what I was doing. I was trying to prevent anybody from going over there and talking to the lady. Now, I didn't even look at the lady or see anything, that she had on until afterwards. I realized afterward that she was barefoot. I'm talking about no shoes or socks out there on the streets of DC. And she was standing like right where the curb meets the road, kind of like the gutter, with no shoes on, no socks or nothing. I'm talking about bare skin feet. I'm like, ma'am, you are a crazy brave soul. You might got all kind of broken glass, needles, or whatever. DC was clean for the most part. It wasn't like New York City or San Francisco right now. It was fairly clean out there. So, but still, I'm not going to be out in the city with no socks or shoes on my feet. But anyway, she screeched at us for a minute, but that was nothing. The majority of the time that we were out there, it was all peaceful, all love, no infight, and none of that type of stuff going on. Okay. We had 3 total events that we had 3 different parts of one event. I say it like that. The first part was Pennsylvania Avenue, right by the White House. We had speakers come out. It was just Candace Owens, Brandon Tatum, and Larry Elder. They all spoke fantastic. I did a few impromptu interviews right there, shook a lot of hands, gave a lot of hugs. You know what I mean? Just, it was a really, really feel good experience. And if I met you out there, if I took a picture with you, hey, thank you for just coming up to me. It made my day. It reaffirmed me. It was energizing for me to get that appreciation and that validation from you guys. So I thank y'all for coming up to me and just saying anything to me. I appreciate it. You know, a lot of guys and girls, you kind of feel like you can't really say too much about being conservative where you come from. The vibe I got there, shout out to my man Willie. He said it best. It was like a family reunion. Okay. It didn't matter, you know, where you came from, and everybody was out there. It wasn't just black. It was black, white, Puerto Rican, candy stripe, literally. We had Hong Kongers for Trump. We had white, black, Asian, Hispanic, people were speaking Spanish, Cantonese, all kind of stuff. So it was a really, really good experience. Okay. We had Africans, everybody was out there at the rally. Great experience. We had the 12 tribes out there that were kind of like on the side. If you ever seen Tour de France or anything like that, where they're riding their bikes, right? And they got like people on the side with signs and stuff like that. It was like that at the rally. It was a crazy experience. I mean, once in a lifetime, you never forget the experience I had. I'll never forget that experience. It was great. And my brother, Brandon Tatum, was able to lead the march. He did a fantastic job leading it. It was good. It was really, really good. So, yeah. Now, the media, of course, want to try to rain on our parade. They want to try to hate on the White House event, talking about, oh, there was no distancing, nobody wore masks. First of all, everybody had masks on. In order for you to get into the White House, you had to have a mask on. Okay, you had to have your mask on to get into the White House. And then if you did not have your mask on at the event, some of the very kind interns that were at the White House, and shout out to y'all, they would come up to you and say, can you please put your mask on? So the mask thing was required and enforced. Everybody had their mask on. And I had the best seat in the house. I was right there in VIP, right next to Candace Owens, Brandon Tatum, and all the Blexit national team and some of the Blexit local people. I was right there front and center. I could see Trump like right in front of me. It was crazy. It's like I could almost touch him, but I needed about go get your arms to reach that far. But anyway, he was not close enough to us to have any kind of impact on us as far as the virus. You're talking about distancing. He was quite a ways away, well beyond 6 feet. You're talking about probably 20, 30, maybe 40 feet. He was away and up. So there's no way that he would impact us with the virus. And they said he didn't have it anyway. So it's like, all right, what are we even doing? But anyway, it said it wasn't no distancing. You guys were packed real tight. Well, I was seeing some of the rallies after the LA Lakers won their championship, and there was no mask or minimal mask and no distancing. You had men giving other men piggyback rides, all this, that, and the third. So if your special area is on the back of this dude's neck, then why is that not a concern? Oh, it only matters when the people that are involved with the distancing and the mask and all of that are conservative. That's when it matters. Got it. But it was a really, really good event overall at the White House. The media want to hate, but of course they're going to hate regardless. The media, it did the same thing in 2019. They hated on us because of the event we had at the White House. Like inside the White House, Nicole Wallace said, we disgraced the East Room where presidents have lied in state, all this, that, and the third. I mean, just silly stuff, just trying to discredit the event. Then they said, we got paid. That's the funniest thing. Oh, you guys got paid. Nobody got paid. If anybody was to get paid, I'd be one of them because I have a big platform. So they want to pay me because I could bring a crowd. But no, I paid my own way. I paid a nice little bit of money for my ticket because it was kind of a last minute thing to get a plane ticket, then to get my hotel and food and Uber and everything else I wanted. I had to pay for that. There was no money given to me. if some people were able to get a plane ticket in a hotel, that's not the equivalent to paying. Shout out to somebody left a comment on O'Shea Duke Jackson's channel. He did a video about people getting paid. The comment was like this. All right, check it out. If I fly you out and I put you in the hotel room, will you fix my roof when you get there? Or do you need more, or do you need extra payment for that? You see what I'm saying? Can I just fly you out and put you up to fix my roof or to cut my grass or to, change my transmission and my brake pads while you at it? Or do you need to get paid for that? If somebody says to me, hey, ABL, I got a job for you, speaking engagement, I'm like, okay, well, where is it going to be? What is it about? Who's putting it on? How much will it pay? And they tell me about all the details, but then when they get to the money, they say, okay, we're going to fly you out and get you a hotel room. I'm like, okay, that's great, but where's the pay? Okay. And they say, oh, no, that's all we can do. If I accept a gig, at that point, I'm just volunteering my services. I'm not actually being paid. All right. You can't pay me in a flight. That's not how that works. Okay. Even if somebody said, you know what, all I want is a trip to DC, and that's all I really care about. I don't want to. If that's the case, then why would they go to the rally? Why would they go to the Blexit speaking event? Why would they go to the White House? Why would they go to the march? There was no way to enforce attendance. You could have just said, you know what, I'm in DC. I'm going to go walk around, look at all the closed museums, take a bunch of pictures of statues and the crackheads and everything else, and just do that. You could do that, but that's not what happened. This event was not marketed. I known about it for a long time. I didn't say a word because they said we wanted it to be an invite-only thing. We didn't want to have a bunch of bad internal actors, and we didn't want to attract Antifa and Black Lives Matter. We didn't want to have them ruin the event or try to disrupt it from the inside or the outside. So in order for you to get invited, you had to kind of be already involved with a lot of what's going on. People that were out there were already doing things in their community. They were part of Blexit chapters, Lexit, Jexit, Walkaway, Black Voices for Trump, and just general Trump supporters anyway, wherever they were. Okay. Social media platforms are on. They got big channels. They got podcasts and everything else. They already were involved. So it's an insult for them to say that we got paid. That's why we were out there. And if somebody did get paid just to be in the rally, prove it. You had 2,000 people. You could find one canceled check to somebody. Surely you could find that. You can't find it because it's not available. It doesn't exist. It's not real. It's a fake thing. It's a lie. It's fake news. The media keep putting it out there like it's real though, and that's fine. Twitter won't remove that. They won't try to censor that at all. And that's a great segue into what's going on right now with Hunter Biden. This whole story is crazy. Have you guys seen the pictures of Hunter and a crack pipe or meth pipe? That was a funny thing in the comments. People were saying, it's a meth pipe, ABL. Hey, it can be crack, meth, heroin, whatever it is. It's not, he's not smoking tobacco out of the pipe. You understand? This man had a glass pipe in his mouth. It looked like he was smoking crack. Probably that's what's going on. And there are actually more pictures and much more evidence that will come from what's going on right now with Hunter Biden. All right. Twitter is censoring it. Oh, you can't post that link. They locked Kelly McEnany's page. You know, the press secretary for the White House, they locked her page. They locked James Woods' page because they shared the article. I think James Woods may have shared the meme, and I think Kelly McEnany shared the article from New York Post. So we can't even post articles from the mainstream media anymore. Is that what's going on? Same thing with Facebook. It did the same thing. Facebook said, we're going to intentionally suppress the view in the share of the story. Same thing they did to me. They did that to my whole page because I shared a story about hydroxychloroquine. It went viral. It broke the internet. I had like 900,000 unique views on my website, almost 1 million unique views on my website just from that one article. And then after that, they did reduce the reach of my Facebook page. Okay. It's the same thing going on here with the story of Hunter Biden. Now, my question is, why would they do that? You have a reputable source in New York Post. They got sources. You got Rudy Giuliani, the former mayor of New York City. You got Steve Bannon. You got documents, evidence, everything. and all the dates line up, 2014, 2015, the dates line up. You have pictures of what's going on. You got Hunter with the crack pipe, meth pipe, whatever it is, the drug pipe, the illicit narcotic pipe. You got all kind of things that prove what was said in the article. Plenty of evidence. So why is that being suppressed? Why is that being outright censored by Twitter? I think at this point, they are nakedly against conservatives. All right. Nakedly against them. Because I remember when the story about the Russia P-Gate, remember that? The whole Russian dossier? When that story came out, was there any kind of censoring of that? Did they say, oh, this story is ridiculous, it's not corroborated, we're not going to share it? No, they didn't. Not in the least bit. When the story about Trump's taxes came out, the only way you can get that is if somebody stole it and published it illegally. Did they reduce the reach on that? No, they didn't. They put it in the trending section for a while, and the trending section is artificially curated. So for them to put it there, they did that on purpose. So you want to highlight and boost negative stories about the president and about conservatives, like about us getting paid. They allow that to just flourish. About the Trump P-Gate, the Russia P-Gate, talking about, oh, Trump had some Russian girls pee in the bed where Barack and Michelle would sleep when they come to Moscow. They let that rock. The whole thing about Trump's tax returns, stolen information, unverified things. Trump himself said, hey, that's not valid. That's not right. But they still let it go. I've not heard the Biden campaign come out and say anything about the emails, plural, on Biden's computer or the crack pipe. I've not heard anyone say that's not legitimate or it's photoshopped or it's fake. Like Donald Trump came out and said that the story about him was fake, but yet they want to censor the Hunter Biden story and not the ones about Donald Trump. So when people say, oh, you being paranoid and nobody trying to censor you guys on the right, I can't tell. I cannot tell. YouTube has been pretty good with it. Actually, YouTube used to be pretty bad with censorship, but they let my story flourish. Okay, I got a whole video about Hunter Biden and the cocaine and all that good stuff on my channel. It's 100% monetized. It's not slowing down. It's getting normal traffic. It's all good. But for some reason, when I go to Facebook and Twitter, I can't do the same thing. Very interesting. All right. Yeah, P-Gate. Remember that? the Russian dossier. So, yeah, you got him smoking crack. Now, some people are going to say, oh, so what, ABL? It doesn't really matter. We should pray for him because, he's in addiction. I understand. I get that part. But see, it's not even just about him smoking crack. That's just one piece of it. There's much more to the whole situation. Remember, Joe Biden repeatedly said that he did not talk to his son about his foreign business dealings. That's what he said to us, right? But the emails say otherwise. Pictures say otherwise. Emails say in 2014, after he had been discharged by the military because of the cocaine, he was discharged in February 2014. In May 2014, here comes the email from the guy at Burisma Holdings, the Ukrainian guy, talking about, hey, we need your influence, we need your help to prevent political attacks against Burisma Holdings. And then he went into how it's a gas company, it's the biggest in Ukraine, all this, that, and the third, right? So after that, Hunter Biden, who just got discharged because of drugs, had issues already, wasn't really stable. After that, he gets on the board of Burisma, getting paid $50,000 a month to do what? He has no experience with oil or gas or energy. $50,000 a month is what you get? Really? Is that what's going on? Oh, okay. Makes sense to me. So you getting that money, and then about 1 year later, you get an email from the same Ukrainian guy talking about, hey, thanks for introducing us to your father and, letting us spend time together. Really appreciate that. Let's have coffee at my office before I leave. So you see what's going on. He's getting paid that amount of money because he's selling influence to Ukraine. A few months later, December 2015, that's when Joe went to Ukraine. Mind you, he's still the vice president of the U.S. and also the special envoy to Ukraine and the Obama administration. He goes to Kiev, Ukraine, and then bullies Ukraine into firing the prosecutor named Shokin. Shokin was a guy that was investigating Burisma Holdings, which is a company that Hunter Biden works for, the very same company they emailed him in 2014 to help with some political pressure and things they were having going on in Ukraine. Basically, what that means is like, hey, we got some heat on our back. We need you to get your father to come in as special envoy to Ukraine to put pressure on Poroshenko to fire this man. And that's what happened, okay? They said, if you don't fire this man, we won't give you $1 billion in loan guarantees from the U.S. to Ukraine. And that's what wound up happening. But Joe Biden says, oh, we never had any talks about his foreign business dealings, and I didn't do that because of Burisma Holdings. Oh, okay. That's what you think? All right. The email says something different. Everything says something different, and there's more evidence where that came from. Oh, we saw the tip of the iceberg. We saw the very tip of the iceberg. We didn't see too much. We saw, the cracked picture and a couple of emails. That's just a little bit of the information. And then I got to say, what was Hunter Biden thinking? Why would you do that? Okay, what he did was he somebody took his laptop to a repair shop for data recovery. What are you trying to recover, sir? Are you trying to recover the cracked pictures and some other stuff, some illicit things? What are you trying to recover? And why would you not pick it back up? The bill was $85. Surely you got it. I mean, $50K a month from Ukraine to do nothing basically but to sell influence. You got $85 to go pick up the laptop. Why didn't you pick it up? Now the FBI has it, and they had it since December 2019. What have they done with it? It took for Steve Bannon and Rudy Giuliani to come forward with the copy of the hard drive to give to the New York Post to put out there to the world. And now Twitter trying to censor it, as well as Facebook's trying to censor it, but they can't because it's already out there. Cat's out the bag. You can't really do much to put it back in the bag. The genie is not going back in the bottle. The genie's out the bottle right now and just Grantbush all over the place. So that's what's going on. Hold on. Jay Thomas says, ABL, no. None of this happened. I heard on CNN, this is a conspiracy theory. Oh, is that right? And, the funny part is that a lot of it has already been admitted by people. Hunter Biden is on Burisma Holdings. That's a fact. The Biden campaign have not come out and denied the emails or the pictures. So if you don't deny it, then it must be true. Trump said, hey, you know what? The things in the article, a lot of it is false. Did Hunter Biden say that? Did Joe Biden say that about the New York Post article? I've not seen them do that. Maybe they did. Maybe I missed it. Just maybe. Now, my question would be, are they going to arrest anybody? That's all I really care about, because I keep hearing about, Benghazi and all kind of stuff. It's like, all right, that's fine and that's cool, but let's get some arrests. I'm hearing about SEAL Team 6. I don't know much about it yet. But see, my thing is, what are they going to do about that? I heard there was a setup that Barack and them got SEAL Team 6 shot down. Okay, and then they had Bin Laden, what was he, in Iran or Iraq? And then they moved him to Pakistan to do the so-called trophy kill. Okay, all of that is good. It makes sense to me. They're saying that the money that they gave to Iran was part of that they owed it, all this. Okay, that's cool. I get it. But see, let's get some arrests. Let's get some heads rolling on the ground. That's what I want to see. And at a certain point, it's like, what more can you do to get arrested? What more can you get away with? We don't want to become Banana Republic where you could do whatever you want and nobody gets arrested if you are in high levels of power. You can just, chop somebody's head off in the middle of the street and not even get arrested, let alone questioned for what you do. That's not really what I'm into. So hopefully we get some arrests from this whole situation, from the SEAL Team 6 thing, from Hunter Biden, from all of this. Joe Biden's got to go too, because Joe Biden was involved. It's not just about Hunter Biden and the cocaine. It's not even about that. It's about some quid pro quo. The left talking about quid pro quo as it relates to Trump and Russia and Ukraine and whatnot. But the real quid pro quo is with Joe Biden and Hunter Biden. They had a whole impeachment hearing over Trump asking the Ukrainian president to look into some corruption that's going on with Joe Biden. Obviously, there's something there. So it makes sense to say, hey, look into it. Look into it, see what's going on. It makes perfect sense. There was some clear corruption happening. We have the documents, we have the evidence. You got a whole laptop, okay? You got a hard drive with all the information on it. All right, and try going to court and say that's not your hard drive, it's not your emails. Try going and do that and see what happens. All right, the FBI got it. You know, they really looking deep into it. And I hear that China may have the information as well. So, nah, you can't get out of it. The question is going to be, will any heads roll? Will anything come of it? If Trump got impeached for having a phone call with the Ukrainian president talking about this whole thing, then why can't those that actually engage in the corruption have anything happen to them? Why not? If by some stroke of just crazy, ridiculous luck, Joe Biden was to win, he's got to be impeached day one because of the Ukraine thing. Got to be. Instantly. If they impeach Trump for a simple phone call, you got to impeach Joe Biden because of what's going on with the quid pro quo. Simple. It ain't really nothing else to it. Okay, hold on. Esmeralda Real says, Jack Dorsey just said Twitter messed up by blocking the New York Post Biden story. Yeah, whatever. You know, I hear stuff like that all the time, and I'm like, all right. Okay, that's nice to say right now, but I feel like they were trying to stop the story from becoming viral, and you do that by spiking it early on while it's trending. I mean, maybe it was a mistake, but I doubt it. I don't think social media guys. I don't think they do anything like that. They don't do that for a mistake. I don't think. Maybe they didn't want to block Kelly McEnany or James Woods. That might have been a mistake. If they were blocking guys like just regular people, then it would have been fine. But you blocking Kelly McEnany and you blocking maybe even the president. Now you got a big problem because now you're going to have the executive branch of the government on your back saying, hey, what's going on with this platform, Twitter? All right. Now you're starting to violate some laws. You're violating free speech. You're also interfering with the election because let's not forget the election is happening right now. People are voting now, today. The election is on. So if you are blocking information about a presidential candidate, about a Democratic presidential candidate, that's going to be seen as voter intimidation possibly, and also election interference. So you can't do that. Maybe it was a mistake from Jack Dorsey's point of view, but not from the employee's point of view. They did that most certainly on purpose. But we'll see what they do going forward. Are they going to continue to block it? How about Facebook? Was that a mistake? That guy from Facebook, I forget his name, but I'm going to try to find his tweet right quick. He came out and said that we are going to reduce the dissemination of this story on our platform. We're going to reduce its reach. They said that specifically. So that's not a mistake when the main guy comes out and says, hey, we're going to just slow that down. Matter of fact, I'm going to try to find it right quick. Give me 1 second. Oh, here it is. His name is Andy Stone. And I'll place this right here on the screen before you. And I'm going to read it for you right quick if you can't see it, if you're listening to audio only. And let's see. All right. Andy M. Stone on Twitter, at Andy M. Stone, all one word, says, while I will intentionally not link to the New York Post, I want to be clear that this story is eligible to be fact-checked by Facebook's third-party fact-checking partners. In the meantime, we are reducing its distribution on our platform. So before any kind of fact-checking, before they know for sure in their mind, or from the fact-checkers if it's true or false, before that happens, they're going to just reduce it right away. Okay, can you do that for every story? Because surely there's some things that spread that aren't 100% true. I mean, that has to be the case all the time. Why specifically about this story? They do the same thing with the Trump story about the taxes, $750 and stuff like that. Although that's a clearly false story. In the actual article from the New York Times, if I'm not mistaken, about Trump's taxes, it says that he paid more than $750. He paid like $5.2 million according to the very article. So that headline was totally false. It was misleading and it was clickbait. Did they reduce its distribution on the platform? I don't think they did. And the tax documents, if they were legitimate, were stolen. So they didn't do anything about that. But all of a sudden now for the Hunter Biden story, since it will impact his father, Joe, he's a Democrat, then they want to censor it. Then they want to slow it down. Okay. Makes sense to me. So I think we all know what time we all know what Facebook is on. We all know what they're pretty much about at this particular point in time. I don't think that anyone needs any other proof, any other evidence as to what's going on with Facebook, Twitter as well. YouTube is the best. I've not had a problem. My video was up. It's not being censored. It's not being throttled. I'm fully monetized on it. It's all good. Okay, I'm about to hit 100,000 views on that thing, and it's straight. I got the crack pipe picture in there. I got all that stuff. And of course, my own website, you can't censor that. I got the crack pipe picture right on the thumbnail. So it's all good. All right. Now, SEAL Team 6, I don't know much about. I see you guys talking about it. I've read it. I've read a little bit about it, and I saw some of the interview, but I've not seen the entire interview, so I don't know much about it. But what I want to see is some heads roll as a result. If someone did something, like the famous Ilhan Omar would say, if someone did something, then let's get some arrests. Let's get some indictments, going downhill for sure. All right, let me see. Oh, I'm reading this comment. Christine Benning says, River Rat, you just love Trump and pretty much everything else. What does everything else mean? What is that? I love pizza and burnt hot dogs. Like, what are you talking about? Be specific. How about that? Let's get a real argument going. People try to argue with me, but they don't know that I've been arguing all my life. I've been arguing since I've been a little boy. I'm talking about 30 more years. I've been arguing. So if you want to have a debate, if you want to have an argument, present it and we can do that. All right. So Kyle Rittenhouse, shout out to Kyle Rittenhouse. He had one charge dropped as it relates to the whole Kenosha, Wisconsin incident, but he still faces plenty more charges. I think he still has like 6 more charges he faces, including a murder charge in Wisconsin, but they dropped the Illinois gun charge. Remember the whole narrative about Kyle Rittenhouse? Oh, he brought that gun across state lines and he killed 2 people and shot 1. They were innocent protesters. They ain't do nothing. He was a vigilante, a white supremacist. Just all nonsense. 17-year-old just trying to protect his community. Oh, cross state lines. He lives in Antioch, Illinois. That's 10 minutes from where he was in Kenosha, Wisconsin. It's literally like right on the border. Kenosha's right there on the border of Illinois and Wisconsin, and so is Antioch. It's the same area. All right? It's simple. It's like if you're in Virginia, you got Chesapeake, and then you got Elizabeth City. It's right there in the same region. All right? It's all still Tidewater. The state line is not necessarily that important. But anyway, they said he crossed state lines with it, but it turns out that it was not his gun. That was his friend's gun. And the friend lived in Wisconsin. The gun never left Wisconsin. It was always there in Wisconsin with the friend. And then when Kyle came to Wisconsin to work as a lifeguard, they got off work. The friend says, hey, here's a rifle. We're going to protect these stores from being burned down by the looters. The police can't be everywhere. We're going to protect them. Matter of fact, have your first aid kit. So if anyone gets injured, you can go out there and render some aid to them. As a matter of fact, the first guy that attacked Kyle Rittenhouse and got shot, got murked. Kyle tried to help. He had his first aid kit trying to help him, but then here comes the mob rushing him off. So, I mean, he's not some kind of cold-hearted person. That's all going to come out in court. Self-defense all the way. So we're still waiting for this whole process to happen. It should get a little bit more snappy here because he shouldn't still be in juvenile, which he is. He's in juvenile right now with no bond. Why is there no bond? For what? Oh, because they're talking about murder charges, but really, they way overcharged him. What they charged him with, he'll beat. The only thing he might get convicted of is the misdemeanor for the gun. It's not a felony to have a gun in that situation, but if he beats the murder charge by self-defense, he might actually beat the gun charge too. They might get him on that, but they probably won't. There are some times where you might get locked up on the gun charge, but beat the murder charge because it was self-defense. You see? So I think that he'll be fine. The only thing they might get him on is a gun. And like I said, misdemeanor, it probably won't be nothing. All right? And he has money to pay for a lawyer, so it'll be fine. He got Lynn Wood and all these guys on their side, so he'll be good to go. All right? So that's what's going on with that. But we'll see what happens. I just say shout out to my man Kyle Rittenhouse. He didn't do anything wrong. He was in the right to defend himself, as he should, as everyone should. No, don't go out there starting drama. Don't go out there antagonizing people. If they come to you and they antagonize you and you got to defend yourself, then you got to do what you got to do. That's what guns are for, self-defense. Also hunting and whatnot, but to defend yourself. That's all it's about. I'm not trying to go out there and hurt anybody. I'm all about peace, love, positivity. But if you attack me, then now we're in a different place and I have to behave accordingly. So it is what it is. That guy that tried to shoot Kyle Rittenhouse with a gun that was captured on camera, his arm is now spaghetti and meatballs. You understand what I'm saying? I'm talking about just disgusting. But that's what you get. If you have a gun, you put it on me, and I got a gun, I got the drop, bang, bang. Your arm is now, it's minestrone. You understand? You got fettuccine Alfredo right there, but I digress. Thank y'all for being here yet again. You guys are the best audience on the internet. If you like what you're hearing so far, give me a thumbs up. Share the video, like the video, do all that good stuff, but hit that like button. That's a very good thing to do, just for me. All right, what else we got going on? Oh, did you guys see the Joe Biden battle rappers? Did you guys see the Joe Biden battle rappers? These guys, who was that? I think it was Charlie Clips. And I forgot the other guy's name. Hold on. I'm going to look it up right quick. It was Charlie Clips and... Wow, I forgot that quick. Hold on. Let me see. Who was that? You guys know who that was. Charlie Clips and somebody. I'm not a battle rap connoisseur, as you could tell. But anyway, they had the battle rap and the bars were kind of trash. It was kind of trash. Like, okay, you can have a rap song or a rap battle or something like that to support a candidate, but let it be good. Let it be entertaining, energetic. Let it not be so kind of cheesy. It's like the Trump. It's like not the Trump campaign. It's like the Biden campaign wrote this. The Biden campaign wrote this. I'm like, man, come on. What are we even doing? Speaking about the polls. The polls just opened today, and the polls are crazy packed. I'm not going today. But anyway, back to, DNA, that's his name. Shout out to DNA. So Charlie Clips and DNA, the battle rappers, they had this so-called battle, but it wound up not even really being a battle. It was just kind of like a rap. It was weird. It wasn't a battle. It was like a choreographed slam poetry without the slam part. It was a little bit of slam poetry, but it was choreographed with outside bars. The Biden campaign bars were not hitting no 2 cents. Yeah, they're no Bryson Gray at all. They're not Bryson. Bryson is excellent. They're not Forgiato Blow or anybody like that. Okay, the bars were trash. And you know what? The bad part is that these guys can actually rap. Of course, what I've been reading, they're actually good battle rappers, but it just didn't do well in this particular thing. And it had all kind of wrong information talking about Trump said to go back to China. When have you ever heard Trump say go back to China or to go back to any country? I've never heard that. Okay. Even when he was asked by Katie Tur about, illegal immigration, he was like, they have to go back. Meaning if they came here illegally, they got to go back, not to a specific country. Trump never said go back to China. Okay, you just hearing little things on Instagram and CNN and kind of like matching it together and making a trash bar. I was just not really a fan. Let it be some good bars is all I want. So yeah, it was pretty trash. But you know what? I can't expect that much from the Biden campaign. They're not doing a very good job. I'm not really sure how anybody thinks they're going to win. I just don't see the victory there. Where's the victory path? No enthusiasm at all. Trump has all the enthusiasm, all the energy. And then think about it like this. You got all the energetic Trump supporters and a lot of us that are kind of on the low that don't say a word about being a Trump supporter. People like that are in my family. They won't say a word to you about being a Trump supporter. They might even kind of hate Trump supporters a little bit. But when they go to the polls, November the 3rd, or if they go early, they're going to vote Trump. That's what's going to happen. Okay, they're not going to vote for Joe Biden. If they don't like Trump and they're not going to vote for him, They won't vote for Joe. They might just stay home or vote third party, some kind of cop-out vote. They're not going to vote for Joe Biden. It is what it is. Exactly, Christine. Oh, if they win, the Democrats said this, it's because they cheated. That's why they want to have the mail-in voting, the mass, universal mail-in voting. They want to have that. They want to have dead people vote. Didn't they found like 600 dead people voting in Michigan already? 600 or something like that. It might have been an even higher number. So if that's going on already, then come on. Then we saw the ballot harvesting thing with Ilhan Omar. And talking about, oh, that wasn't really real. That was staged. Come on. Everybody knows it's real. We know what's going on. The one guy who said it wasn't real had a video of himself with a bunch of ballots that he shouldn't have had. Talking about, oh, well, it was a law. Listen, you're ballot harvesting, you're doing all kind of stuff you shouldn't be doing. That's illegal, illicit. And then Ilhan Omar is a piece of work herself. Aside from the ballot harvesting and 300 ballots with empty and you buying ballots people, aside from that, you have Ilhan Omar taking monies from her campaign, routing it all kind of ways, giving it to the guy she was cheating on her husband with, Tim Mynette. How you going to be a Muslim, right, wearing a scarf and everything, talking all this, I'm a Muslim woman. How you going to do all that and then get married 3 times in 3 years? Is it not haram? If you do that in Somalia, you're getting caned straight in the street. You can only do that in America, but somehow America's racist, all this, that, and the third. You love America because you cannot do what you're doing anywhere else but America. The corruption you're doing right now, do that in Somalia and see what happens. You be getting beat in the street today or early tomorrow. That's what's going on. You can only do that here in America. So she's giving a bunch of money from a campaign to Tim Mynette as a so-called consulting fee, and she's probably taking that money straight from him. All kind of illicit, halfway illegal stuff. There's a lot of that going on. Running for office, knowing you can't win, but still trying to siphon that campaign money off. You got a consulting firm set up with your own address, but different story. I digress. My whole point is that it's crooked out there in Minneapolis. Everyone knows it. So this whole thing about, oh, it's fake, it's not really real. Come on. You're trying to discredit Project Veritas. You're trying to discredit James O'Keefe. We all know what's going on. We all know that it's real, but I'll move right along. Thank y'all for being here yet again. I appreciate you guys. You guys are the best audience on the internet. If you like what you're hearing so far, go ahead and subscribe to the channel right now. And when you do that, click the bell so you get notified whenever I go live and or post a new video. Yeah, Ilhan Omar, she was married to her brother, allegedly, because he needed citizenship. So she got married to him. And she had an actual husband she got kids with. She was married to him on and off. And then she left her husband to get married to the white man, Tim Mynette, which is crazy. They'll be the main ones that say, oh, white men are the biggest terror risk, and then turn around and get married to a white man. It's like, come on, what are we doing? How are you going to have all this racial hatred and then get married interracially? If you're going to do interracial marriages, maybe you shouldn't be a racist. You see what I'm saying? If you marry interracially, then you this whole racist thing, it doesn't make any sense. Just love everybody, then it would make sense. But if you are a hater like Ilhan Omar, then it does not make sense. Exactly, KG. She's anti-white but married one. It makes no sense at all. All right. Now, somebody says Demi Lovato's woke song, Commander-in-Chief. I saw a news story about that, but I've not heard the song yet, so I have no idea. And I couldn't play it right here because they probably copyright strike me, but I'll go check it out when I get a little bit of chance to do so. If I could do a reaction without getting striked, I might do it at a later date. Just not right now, of course. All right. So what else we got going on? There was more I wanted to cover. Let me just go to my list right quick because there's a whole lot going on right now in the internets. Let me see. I covered that one. Did I cover that one? Oh yeah, Portland. They're toppling the statues of Abraham Lincoln and who else? Teddy Roosevelt. I'm not surprised. Nobody should be surprised at this. I've called it for years. If you've been watching me for a long time, you know that I've already called it years ago. I always call it. It started with the Confederate generals and the Confederate flag. People said, oh, they were losers. All right, but check it out. You don't understand those that say that. Not you guys. You guys are perfect. But those that say stuff like that don't understand. The next thing will be Abraham Lincoln, Thomas Jefferson, George Washington, Teddy Roosevelt. And it'd be for the same purpose, for the same reason. They were racist. They had slaves. They hated black people, all this. Okay, now you're going to have all history pretty much just washed away, or they try to alter it, or they try to obscure it. So, or pardon me, or obfuscate it so you don't really see it, so you don't really understand what's going on. So when you're in DC, looking at the statues, all you see are those that they want you to see. You don't see the complete history. I want to see all the history, good, bad, ugly. I want to see all of it, right? I don't want to have some of the history there that the state feels like is appropriate. Give me everything. Shout out to my man, Derek Gradenigo. He's like, hey, when I go to Italy, Nero's right there, right outside. And this man had wives and husbands. Okay. Like, he was wild right there. I want to see everything. Don't try to hide no statues or nothing like that. You know, they've been there for 100 years, never hurt anybody. You want to come mess with it. And the crazy part about that is one guy got hurt by a statue that fell on him after he broke it. It's like, you attacking the statue did more harm to yourself than the statue ever did to anybody just by being here in this random obscure corner of the city. But different story, I digress. The point is that they're trying to hide history. When people sign off on it and say, okay, that's fine because they were losers. All right, now what's next? George Washington. They took his bust out of GWU in DC. DC is named Washington, DC. The college is named George Washington University. They took his bust or statue, whatever that was, out of the university. Oh, it's offensive. The school is named for him. But you're gonna change Washington State, Washington, D.C. I mean, like, how about dollars? Are we going to remove the picture from the dollar? I mean, what are we going to do? How far is it going to go? So when they took down Abraham Lincoln, that was a surprise. And then they replaced him with an elk, some kind of random elk statue. Like, what are we doing? Are we worshiping animals now? Are we going in that direction? Are we trying to get into some paganist type stuff for real? Like, what's happening here? Not surprising at all. So if you don't want to have history be removed in front of your eyes and American flags burned, Abraham Lincoln, if you don't want that to happen, then let everything be up. Confederate generals too. Why is the Confederacy seen with so much disdain? The Confederacy was only around for 4 years of slavery. Only 4 years of slavery. So why is it seen so bad? The American flag was around from 1776 to 1865. That's about 90 years right there of slavery. We've been able to get past that as far as the American flag. So why not anything else? Why can't we just view history as history and appreciate it just for what it is, just for being a thing that happened, and that's it? Why must we try to burn it, to erase it, to alter it, to change it? You can't change it. It happened. You can't edit the past. I mean, I don't have a time machine. Do you? Ain't no time machines going on. So all we can do is just know what the past was and learn from it and move forward and progress in the true way, not in the Democratic Party way. They're trying to regress into the past. You know, they got all black college dorms, all white college dorms. They're trying to bring that stuff back. And I'm not with that. You can have a white organization. You can have a thing that's mostly white, mostly black. That's fine. Some kind of organization, if it's freedom of association. But when you have a college that says, okay, if you white, go over there. If you black, go over there. And you have no choice. Now we're starting to regress. All right. You can get married to whoever you want to get married to. It doesn't matter what color they are. Right. But when they say, oh, you got to get married to a black person, now we're doing something different. Now we're starting to, go back in time. We're regressing. So that's kind of what that is. All right. But thank y'all again for joining. We got a whole lot happening. All right. April coming from West Virginia. Shout out to West Virginia. All righty. Let me see. I'm reading the chat right here. I think I pretty much covered everything I wanted to cover before we get to super chats. All right. And let's see. All right. Super chats on deck. Then we get to the calls. Let me go start from the beginning. Shout out to Apu Bakar, All Puff Daddy, who says BLM lied. innocent people died. R.I.P. Cannon Hennett, Sequoia Turner, Horace Lorenzo Anderson Jr., Italia Marie Kelly, David Dorn, David Patrick Underwood, Tamaris Bohannon, Burnell Chamel, David McAtee, Chris Beatty, and Jose Gutierrez. Yeah, R.I.P. Many more black and brown folks have died as a result of BLM than the protests that BLM were for. Shout out to Ian Kinney, who says Twitter and Facebook are going wild with the censorship. Twitter blocked White House press secretary's personal account. Yeah, Kelly McEnany, election interference all day long. And like I was saying earlier, someone said in the comments that Jack Dorsey, the CEO of Twitter, apologized for what happened on Twitter, but I'm not sure if that's legitimate. And Facebook, they're not going to apologize because one of the main guys from Facebook said that we're going to just reduce, the distribution, and we're going to fact check it. So they're not trying to, they want to censor this story because it will hurt Joe Biden because of what's going on with Hunter Biden. That's all that it is to it. If it was a story about Trump, they could say, you know what, Trump got little kids in the basement. It doesn't matter if it's any kind of real sources. It could be on the nationalenquirer.com. They're going to run it, and there won't be any kind of retractions. That's just the situation going on. All right. Thank you to Apu Bakar, our Puff Daddy, who says, honor, respect, and gratitude to your father, ABL, for his service as a firefighter. Brandon Tatum, Tucson Police, and Jericho Green, U.S. Navy. Last week's talk on the human suffering witnessed by first responders was deeply spiritual. Yeah, that was something. Yeah, and shout out to my brother Brandon and my brother Jericho Green. Yeah, they had some really some deep stories about that. And shout out to Dad as well as a firefighter. He's seen a lot of different things. He also says, ABL, how are your fans reacting to the ACB hearings? How did your fans rate the performance of Democrat senators? What do you think of Senator Mesa Hirano? I'm not looking at the hearings, really, honestly, because I feel like it's kind of a foregone conclusion. We know what's going to happen. They're going to try to attack her on baseless things. I see some things. I see some of the clips. I saw Mesa Hirano asked if Amy Coney Barrett had ever raped somebody or something crazy like that, any kind of sexual assault. I was like, man, really? Is that what we're going to do? Come on, stop. If nobody ever heard about anything like that, then it didn't happen. Why even ask that question? Why even put it out there in the atmosphere? Yeah, Mesa Hirano was a nut. Mesa Hirano ain't nothing but like an Antifa member. Okay. Shout out to Teresa Ann Elizabeth, who says, thank you, ABL, for getting the message out about Joe and Hunter, even before Facebook and Twitter censored it. Hey, no problem. Thank you for that. I had to get it out there right away because they like to try to, crack down on that kind of stuff. And I want to get it out right away as soon as I hear it, just to be quick. So, instantly, before they try to do anything, before they can react, I got it out. Before the mainstream media get their filthy mitts on it, I'm going to put it out there in a real way. All right. Shout out to Justice Smith, who says, was it a beta male move to not do virtual debate? No, I don't think so. And I think that he had a counter offer. He was like, hey, let's not do the virtual debate. Let's do outside. If Biden does not want to do it inside and Trump doesn't want to do it on the computer, do it outside. That way we could still have the debate. You're not worried about the virus because you're outside in open air. Let's do it outside. That would have been a better thing to do, in my humble opinion. But I don't think Joe Biden wants to have any more debates. So they want to just bypass this. They want to say, oh, you got the virus. It's dumb. Thank you to Holly T. Lightwork, who says, are you all doing cleanups with Blexit? Well, let us see you guys in Los Angeles and across the country, but I'm in LA. Who should I contact about this? There's a Blexit chapter in LA. I don't know who runs it, but I will try to find out for you. And if you guys are watching Blexiteers, who runs the LA chapter? You guys let me know in the comments or email whatever you can. Thank you to Matthew Phillips, who says, Biden in bed, crack pipe in mouth, 2024, hashtag 4 years of crack. How about 4 years of rock? How about that? Thank you for your super chat. Thank you to Apu Bakar, our Puff Daddy, who says, ABL, why are black pro athletes and black celebrities liberal leftists? Why do they support a Democratic Party? Well, a lot of them, they just are ignorant. They don't know any better. So they're going to support that just out of default. It's the same way I was when I was young. I didn't know any better, so I did it out of default. That's my humble opinion. A lot of them are not going to be really vocal about who they support unless they're reading a sheet of paper that they've been sent. It's like, okay, read this. It's what you're going to say. If they don't have any kind of thing prepared for them to say, any kind of teleprompter or a written speech, they won't have anything. They're not educated. When they go to college, they play basketball, and that's pretty much it. And they might major in African-American studies or culinary. They're not really there for education in a serious way a lot of times. Not all the time, but a lot of times it's just what it is. They're not educated. It just are thinking that way by default. Also peer pressure, but I digress. Thank you to Tiffany S., who says, any info on the cover-up with Hillary Clinton, Biden, Obama on a SEAL Team 6 and a $152 billion payment to Iran? I don't have more on that, but I'm going to try to find some more. Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Nate. She says, visit the Blexit website to find a chapter. There you go. Yeah, find a chapter on the website. That'll work out. Thank you to Y'all Need Jesus, great name, who says, thank you for your channel. God bless. God bless you as well. Thank you for your donation. Let me see. Shout out to Ian Kenny, who says, Anomaly is in battle with Facebook right now. First it limited his reach, like you, and now they demonetize his page. Yeah, that happens. That's why I never really was big on Facebook. I try to get Facebook cracking, but I never really could do it. I don't know. I'm just better on YouTube for some reason. And some guys like the opposite. Some guys are better on Facebook than YouTube, but I'm better on YouTube. Thank you to Christian 23, Allen 35, who says, I joined the Oklahoma College Democrat Zoom call, and there was more Republicans than Democrats. It was all me and my friends trolling them. It was 3 to 12. Hilarious. Thank you to Talex001, who says, Hunter Biden is the exact rich brat type they tried to make Kavanaugh out to be. Talk about privilege. Biden is corrupt to the core. And you know what? That's a very good point. They try to paint Brett Kavanaugh some kind of party boy, drinking, acting the fool, drugging, all this and that. But meanwhile, it's Hunter Biden. Okay, you out here with the booger sugar and the meth, the cocaine or whatever. You doing all kind of wild stuff, drinking, smoking. You are what Kavanaugh was portrayed to be in the media. But now they want to try to hide the reality about Hunter. So let me get this straight. They put out a fake story about Brett Kavanaugh, but they want to hide the real story about Hunter Biden. Interesting. All right. Let me see. Shout out to Rosslyn, who says, what are your thoughts on why some conservatives are not supporting Trump? I don't know. I have no idea why anybody would do that. He has a very high approval rating. I don't know. I'm not really sure why that's happening. Shout out to Ian Kenny, who says, why isn't the media covering China trying to take Taiwan? Probably because Trump administration has been backing the Taiwanese. Well, they don't want to cover anything. They don't want to tell you what's going on. They don't want to talk about how Tibet actually was a sovereign country, and Hong Kong and Macau and Taiwan. Uh-oh. Amber alert. My phone should not even really be on. That's crazy. Shout out to, let me see. But yeah, they don't want to talk about how China is imperialistic. They want to talk about, Trump is racist for mentioning China. That's all that is. Thank you to, let me see, Vicky Wilson, who says, you keep going, ABL. Don't stop spreading the truth. Will do. Thank you for your donation. Most certainly appreciate you. Thank you to Coleman Rose, who says, just becoming a member, ABL supporter. Thank you to Ian Kenny, who says, hold on, let me go back to where I was. Ian Kenny says, Wauwatosa, Wisconsin is currently having peaceful protests over a 17-year-old who was waving and aiming a gun around and shot by a black officer. Oh, really? Wow. So the officer was black. That's all that really matters. They don't really care about black lives. If they cared about black lives, then they would support the officer and whoever died and figure out what's going on. But no, it's just about anytime somebody gets shot by police, then they got to go out there and protest. That's all. All righty. Let me see. Okay. Louis from Spain says, I just saw a video titled, I was voting for Biden, but this changed my mind to Trump. Check it out. You're going to love it. Oh, greetings to your cousins. Yeah, shout out to all my cousins. Shout out to everybody out there. Let me see. What's that? Carrie Birch says, Amber alert, where's Hunter? Hilarious. Hilarious. Thank you for your donation, man. Thank you to Nippon, who says, my semester is on 3-week break, so I'll be able to tune in both Wednesdays and Saturdays again. Shout out to you. Thank you to Jared Eula. I know what your name and I'm sorry. Who says, keep up the good work, ABL. Hey, Tatum 24. JVS H-Town says, the rioters and activists are only doing the things they're doing to destroy, get paid, or encouraged by Democrats. Being offended isn't the real motivation. There you go. Ian Kenny says, Twitter is claiming, quote, the images contained on articles include personal private information like email addresses and phone numbers, which violate our rules. Okay, dude. Yeah, right. Oh, okay, that's fine. But when they put out Trump's tax information, then that wasn't a big deal, right? Personal income information, how much you paid in taxes, how much you owe in debt. Isn't that personal and private? Can you share my tax documents or anything in it? Okay, I see how that works. Shout out to Orestes Moha, who says, ABL, I wish you do a live show daily. You are a great man with a great mind. You are the voice of the silent majority, but the time is coming for us to speak up. Let's make history chat. Hey, that could happen. I may do that, maybe. I can't say yeah or nay, but I may do that. Kyrie Birch says, if Biden can't raise a good son, how can he raise a good country? The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. 47 years, nothing to show. Hashtag Trump 2020. Very, very good words. Very well said. Thank you for your donation. Shout out to Black Rocker Conservative Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, who says, I wonder why I'm a sellout because I voted for Trump. LOL. Oh, by the way, that rap battle with DNA and what's his face was whack. The misinformation was so undeniably incorrect, but people will believe it. Exactly. There was so much wrong stuff said, they had to censor it. Like, it was 2 points in the video where they had to reverse the audio because what they said was wrong. Like, some of the percentages and all that kind of stuff, it was just incorrect. And things they didn't censor were also wrong, too. All right. Shout out to Jeffrey Rudd, who says, good day from Tasmania. Keep the reality checks coming. Will do. And shout out to Tasmania. Shout out to Eyes. Big up to you down there. And the land down under. All right. We got calls to get to. I'm going to go ahead and get straight into it. You guys know what the deal is. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. Okay, another one here. Coleman Rose says, your analysis is so key. I never miss. You are a true leader. I back you 100%. Well, thank you for that, man. I appreciate you. All righty. Let's get to some calls. You guys know the drill. The number to call, 434-658-1220. I'm going to turn my audio off on the desktop so you guys don't hear that loud ring. And then I'm going to turn the ring off as well. We can go ahead and get cracking, rocking, and rolling. All right. Let me turn everything the way it's supposed to be, and we can be straight. 434-658-1220. Our caller line, I'm speaking to 607.
ABL, good evening. It's Chuck calling from North Carolina.
All righty, man. What's going on?
I'm actually surprised on the first one to come through.
Yeah, man.
Lucky me, huh? One thing I really wanted to speak to you about is like this the CIA operative that came out and said, you know, they killed SEAL Team 6.
Yeah.
Honestly, personally, something about that really does bother me. Honestly, I really think he's lying in that case. I really do.
So why do you think that?
All right, I was in the Army. I retired out as a hooker, CH-47 mechanic. That's what we call ourselves, hookers. And there's something about that story that just really doesn't make sense to me. For starters, the type of bird that SEAL Team 6 would be on would be called an MH-47. That's mission helicopter. They're a lot more expensive. And I can tell you right now, a CH-47 Delta model, an old school model, costs $14 million. I don't know how much an MH, most likely a Golf model, would cost, but the idea of like them actually blowing one of those bad boys out of the sky, you're talking like maybe $30 to $50 million each. Something about that doesn't sound right to me.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of like just hearing it for the first time. I've not heard everything that's going on, so I have no idea. I mean, a lot of these things, sometimes you can take it with a grain of salt. You can't always believe everything you hear. So if you're saying that it sounds kind of fishy, I take your word for it because I think you probably would know more than I do.
My personal theory is As for like actually killing Osama bin Laden, this, that, and the other of the raid, honestly, I think that might be true. Was it actually OAB that they killed? I don't know. It could have been a fake. Who knows? But in my personal opinion, when Barack Obama went on national television and said, hey, SEAL Team 6 went in and killed Osama bin Laden, I think at that point in time, there was a massive backlash with special forces. And they're like, hey, why are you dime dropping SEAL Team 6? Because you just put a massive, massive bullseye on their backs.
Right.
Massive. Now, you don't say who did this. You say, hey, our people did this. All right? Sorry about that noise. And what I personally believe is, because not all SEAL Team 6 was killed, I use air quotes, is what my personal opinion, as I said, what I personally believe is SEAL Team 6 was on ex-aircraft single bird mission in a, I guess you could say, a hostile environment, flying solo, a single bird solo mission. Flying in enemy area like that even CH-47, that is really not likely. I've been in Iraq twice, and I've been in Afghanistan twice. And, like, it's just like, to me, it sounds like something like they said in the media to make SEAL Team 6 dead, and just like kind of like a witness protection system, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, everything else is the CIA guy. Hey, I'll take his thoughts with a grain of salt, but the idea of them actually executing SEAL Team 6, no, it doesn't sound right. I mean, when a 47 or a Broken Angel call comes down, everybody knows about it. It doesn't matter if you're 47, UA-60, Apache, Kiowa, it does not matter, training or in combat. When that Broken Angel call comes down, people know about it. It's just one of those things.
Gotcha.
I apologize. I don't know a better way to explain it. It's just that part of the CIA guy saying, hey, they executed SEAL Team 6. No, I think it's more like SEAL Team 6 was, air quotes, executed or died, and they're more like witness protection. That's my personal opinion.
Well, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
ABL, one last thing I ask of you. I've been spamming this in the chat.
Alrighty.
It's called Fate. Buzz out a calculator. Take 2020 divided by 666 and tell me what you find.
Okay, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that right now. Matter of fact, so we got 2020 divided by what? 666.
Mm-hmm.
And you got 30330. That's funny.
Have a good evening, sir.
All right, now take care.
Bye-bye.
Hey, I did that right live on the stream. I did not make it up. I just put it right in my calculator, and I showed you guys right there. All right, let's get to some more calls. And let's do 813. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hello?
Yes, who am I speaking to?
Hi, this is Maria. Is this Anthony?
Yes, it is.
Hi, Anthony. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. I finally was able to get you. So, Anthony, I just wanted to say thank you so much for everything that you do. And I wanted to say that I am so happy that you went to the Blexit event that happened with Candace Owens on DC. And I honestly wanted to go, but I couldn't. And it would have been amazing to have met you on that event. If I had known that you would have gone, I would have just like stopped everything and went. You're an amazing, and thank you so much for speaking out, being the voice that basically we don't have. Thank you so much for that.
Hey, no problem.
Thank you. Just wanted to say, by the way, I do watch your channel a lot, and thank you for everything that you do. Just wanted to say that, and just I appreciate everything that the word that you say. Yeah.
Well, I couldn't do it without y'all, so I appreciate you for watching, for supporting, and I say keep on rocking with me.
Oh, of course, absolutely. I take in the rock and roll from you every time I leave. I say, "There's rock and roll now." But
right.
You have a good one, okay?
All right, now, same to you now.
Bye.
Bye. All right. Shout out to the caller. Yeah, I known about the trip for a long time, but they were telling me to not say anything because we wanted to make sure that we didn't have any kind of crazy protesters or whatnot get attracted to the event. Because you know how they do. They want to fly out like 1,000 people to come in there and try to disrupt. So they couldn't do that. The media didn't know until like the very end, until like the day before. So it was a good turnout. It was overall a good event. And I really enjoyed you guys. And shout out to everybody that I met there for the first time before. A few times I met you. Shout out to everybody that was there. Great event. And we're going to have more. So it'll be more opportunities to get together and have that big family reunion for sure. All righty. Let's get to the next one. All righty. Caller on Skype. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, hold on a second. Oh, man.
All right,
hey Anthony, how you doing?
Everything's good, man. What's happening?
I'm on Skype, but I don't see you.
Now you won't see me. You won't see me. You just hear me.
Okay, gotcha. Well, first of all, I just want to thank you for going out there and doing the Blexit event. I thought that was awesome. I didn't even know you were going to be out there, but it was amazing to see you out there when I was watching the live coverage of it. So thank you for that.
Oh, no problem.
But so a few topics I was wanting to talk to you about tonight. The first one was the debates. So the fact that they've canceled it, at first I was kind of upset about it because I thought it was a setup the whole time, the way they put him in a position where he had to either agree to a virtual debate, or come out and say no. And either way, they lost the coverage the next day for the Pence demolishing Biden or Harris. But so I thought they put him in a bad spot. But the more I thought about it, I was just like, what does it really matter? I mean, and I'm curious to your thoughts on this because I don't see how these debates can help him in the first place because of all the way they're set up right now. The questions are just made to they're set up like, the very fine people comments or the transfer of power, or they talk about voter suppression or white nationalism, but nothing about actual policies that would help us. So I was just curious your opinion on it. I mean, even if we didn't even have another debate, you think it's good for him or bad for him?
I think the debates do help at a certain point because some people don't watch politics at all. They don't know much about Trump or Joe Biden. So they rely upon the debates to get them an understanding of what's happening. So I think that you do need the debates. I think they'll still have one right before the election. That'd be pretty important. But I wish he could have had it still. And I think Trump had a counter offer. He was like, hey, let's do it outside. It wasn't just like, no, I don't want to do it. It was like, okay, if Biden does not want to come inside, he's scared of the virus, and I don't want to do the computer because it's just not a good format for me, let's do it outside. And they just ignored it, canceled it. So it's like, well, what did we do? So I think a lot of it was just the commission for the debate. They don't really like Trump too much. And they weren't listening to him when he was saying earlier, hey, we got the virus going on. So what we should do is have some earlier debates. They were like, no, because the dates are already set in stone and we can't change them. But they changed them now because Trump had the virus. So it's kind of some incompetence on their part and unwillingness to bend and adjust when they adjusted when they wanted to adjust. So it's just kind of weird.
Well, I was looking, watching the VP debate, and people are talking about it, and it's been talked about ever since that debate. Is the court packing situation? Now there's reporters actually asking it, so people were talking about that. But if you go back and look at it, that question only got asked because Pence brought it up. Like, I will guarantee that lady that was not one of her questions. She hadn't said it till then, and I bet she wasn't going to ask it the whole time anyway. So, that's kind of why I'm like, why are we even doing this? Because they're not asking any of the things that we care about. And, he's dodging all the questions. She's dodging the questions. And, that they're accusing Pence and Trump of dodging certain questions too, but not to the same level. So that's just kind of my thought about it. And, and the other thing is the Burisma affiliation with Hunter Biden and what's going on there with the emails and how, like you said, Facebook and Twitter were already pulling those back. But why isn't this a bigger deal? I mean, why are not? I mean, how can they get away with just not even looking into any of what's going on, especially with his comments? I mean, that he it wasn't even like it was a hot mic. I mean, he just was straight up bragging about, getting that prosecutor fired and everything else, and there's so many smoking guns there, and it's not even something they're talking about. So I mean, you know, how is that right, and how can we even combat that?
Well, I mean, it's a good question. I feel like you have some protection from some high up political people, especially those on the left, and that's just kind of what it is. That's that deep state swamp. We got to get out of here. A lot of these people are still pretty much ingrained. You got all kind of judges, and you got all kind of people you got to get through in order to make that not be the case anymore. So I'm not sure what's going to happen. I feel like it's going to be kind of a long process to even get to that point where you get somebody like that on a charge they should be on. I feel like the only way you're going to get somebody like that is if they get caught red-handed with a teenager in their basement, and they still might not get any kind of time. So I feel like it's going to be kind of a long process, and hopefully the process is done sooner than later. But hey, thank you for the call, man. I got a lot more on the line.
All right, thanks, sir.
No problem.
All right.
All right, shout out to the caller. Great call. Let's do a few more here. All righty, boss. What's this? Matthew?
Yes.
What's going on, man?
Hey, Bill.
All righty, what's happening with you?
I got a couple things. Trump with COVID. This is just my personal opinion, and you can weigh in.
All righty.
So I will say this: I had COVID. My whole family had COVID, and Trump had COVID, and then he said he was immune. I say to this, it's very well possible because we're all affected by it in different ways, and nobody really realizes that.
Right. So now, when you guys had it, like, was it like a real bad thing? Like, how was what was the experience like?
My dad had just really bad coughing and was tired all the time, and mostly only had soup. Me and my little brother, on the other hand, we only threw up, and then we were fine. We didn't do anything else. We were just fine.
Right. Okay.
So if you get COVID, just saying, if you do, not saying that you will, but if you do, just look out for that.
Gotcha. Okay.
I don't know if you saw this, but in Ohio, there was a shooting with a 4-year-old kid named Rowan Sweeney. He got shot. I don't know if you saw that.
Now, who got shot?
A little 4-year-old named Rowan Sweeney.
Oh, wow. No, I didn't see that. Now, what was the story behind that?
This man just walked into his house and then lit up the place, and then the mother got shot, and she was clenching her little baby, Rowan, and she said, "Please don't kill my baby." And then the guy literally shot the little kid in the head.
Wow. That's crazy. So was there any kind of racial motivation? Like, was there any reason for this?
No, not that I know of. I just found it out like an hour ago.
Yeah, it's a crazy world, man.
Alrighty. I don't know if you saw this as well, but Pelosi was fighting with CNN, and CNN, is like mostly Democratic, is my opinion, and Pelosi's Democratic. So, what does that mean for our future?
Hey, that's a good question.
Alrighty. Well, one more topic. Joe Biden. I say that the little joke about 2020 divided by 666 is funny.
Yeah, that was interesting. And I had been seeing that, but I didn't think that it actually worked. I didn't actually do it until just right now, and then it worked. I was like, that's hilarious.
And the Hunter Biden thing, I saw that Kayleigh McEnany's Twitter got shut down because she posted something about that.
Yeah, definitely. That was really crazy. Now, I was reading in the chat earlier. They said Jack Dorsey, the CEO of Twitter, he said that was a mistake as far as trying to shut down the coverage of the story. But I'm like, you're right. You're right. I feel like they probably went too far when they shut down Kelly McEnany's page, and they want to try to backtrack now. But no, I don't think it was a mistake. They probably just did not mean to shut her down, but they wanted to shut others down.
Mm-hmm. Now, I just got this notification from NBC News, but the white woman who called the police on the black man in Central Park,
Yeah.
was charged for second call falsely claiming assault.
Wait, she got charged with a crime for that?
Yeah.
Wow. So is that like, what is that? Is that, can you go to jail for that? Do you know anything about the actual punishment for the crime?
Well, as far as I know, if you call the police about a fake claim, you can go to jail for that. But
Wow.
I may be wrong.
Yeah, I need to look into that. That's crazy because, I feel like it was just somebody that was kind of scared. It happens all the time. If you get scared, you call the police. It's what they're there for. But I'm going to look into that and see what's going on.
Mm-hmm. And I think this last topic that I'm going to talk about happened maybe early September. I'm not sure. But Alyssa Milano, she had called the police on a kid with a BB gun. And yet she's a activist against the police.
Yeah. I covered that one. That was hilarious. It's like, okay, she retweeted this petition to defund the LAPD by 90%, but then she went out and called the police on this kid that had a airsoft gun hunting squirrels, talking about, oh, it wasn't just me, it was my neighbor, and I was just, it's like, nah. You had almost the entire county police department, fire department, all of that come out to your residence, but you wouldn't defund the police. So I get to have the police, but you can't. That's pretty much how she's looking at it.
Mm-hmm. Just like they said, mask for thee, but not for me.
There you go.
And now it's police for me, but not for thee.
1000%. Absolutely.
I just want to say I thought you did a good job at Blexit. Same with Brendan Tatum and Candace Owens. And that's all I got for me.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right. Shout out to my young callers. You guys are great. Hey, I got some breaking news for me personally. Facebook sucks. I think we all know that. But here's what they did to my page. I'm going to show you guys right now. Okay. So this is what's going on. Now, I figured they were already going to do this. All right. So you see what's happening here? This is my Facebook page, my business page. I'm on my personal page. So now it says, page not allowed to advertise. You can't create ads or promote your page because it's restricted from advertising. So when I go to see details, let me see. I'm going to just zoom out here. If it'll let me. Hold on, I don't want to do that. Hold on, let me just fix this up right here. I'm going to see if I can show it. If it'll let me show it. Okay, Facebook sucking as normal. There we go, it's collapsed. All right. And it says this page isn't allowed to advertise because it is repeatedly posted content that has been debunked by third-party fact checkers. This behavior means the page hasn't complied with our misinformation advertising policy, which is a requirement for advertising on Facebook. Its ads have been disabled and currently can't create or run new ads. So basically, I can't pay them to have them put my stuff out there because they already were downranking my page anyway. And Facebook sucks. But I put everything I put on Facebook, I put on my YouTube. YouTube is fine. Everything is green. Everything is fine. I don't got no strikes. Everything is lovely. But Facebook, they're killing me. Same thing with Instagram. Facebook sucks. That's why I don't even really focus on it. I go on there on my personal page more than anything else. I don't even use a business page that much. But that's just something that's going on. They're trying to shut a lot of us that's conservative on Facebook down right now because they know the election is right here. We have big influence. We can go viral. Like I told you guys from the beginning, I had a viral article about hydroxychloroquine that went super viral. I had 900,000, close to 1 million unique views on my website from that one article, and it was on Facebook. I had so many people that were on the website. My host called me and was like, hey, you want to upgrade your plan? I had a shared plan. It was a decent plan, but it was kind of on a shared server. Like, it needs your own server, sir. So I had to upgrade my plan and pay a bunch of more money. And then here comes Facebook saying, oh, no, we're going to go ahead and just not even let you run ads. And they also downrank my page. So not only can I not run ads, I can't even, but that's what they do. But hey, I ain't tripping. Let's get to the next call. 416 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
It's Cigarbox, man. How are you?
Everything's great, man. How about yourself?
Oh, just beautiful. I think you guys should do like a side-by-side thing and put it up online. Show the rally. I was watching the Blexit Rally, and you could say this is a peaceful demonstration, and then you show the crap that's going on in Portland and say, and this is a riot.
Exactly, 1,000%.
Man, that was unreal. Like, you guys just like went through the streets. It was fantastic, and how these guys can go and say those other things are peaceful protests. I mean, like, they got to be out of their skull. But do you remember that Jonathan Price who got martyred by that cop?
Yeah, I heard about that story.
And yet nobody tore up the country over it.
Yeah, I mean, because the thing is, what's the point of doing that? I think people just want to do stuff like that because they want to do it. They don't really care about the person that died. They're out there just for personal gain. That's all. If they can push a narrative, then the button gets pushed. They go out there and they tear stuff up just because they want to. And that's it. No other real reason.
But it's doesn't Black Lives Matter trigger these little riots?
Yeah, they do.
Because this guy was kind of pro-police and kind of anti-Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, see, then the narrative gets destroyed at that point. So, if you're just an innocent person and, if they can use you as some kind of martyr, then they'll go out there and riot on your behalf. But if they can't, then they don't care.
Because
right.
So Black lives don't matter then, do they?
No, only the correct, only the appropriate dead people matter.
Only the appropriate criminals seem to matter.
Correct.
I have a question to ask about this systemic racism that they say is there, and it's supposed to be built into our system, correct?
That's what they say.
So, like what, from the beginning, we built this into our system?
I guess so. I guess from like 1776, maybe even, they say 1619, although we were the kingdom of Great Britain back then, so I guess that counts too.
So why would anybody who was setting up a system that had people who were slaves think that they would have to write in protections to make sure that they could keep these people down when they're already considered livestock at that particular time? Why would they worry about it? Did you follow me?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. So it's like, basically, what's the point in having laws in the books that would have to remove you from society if you were already there as a regular person?
Yeah, so that kind of takes away their argument, doesn't it?
I mean, it should. If you're thinking, if you're logical and you're thinking like that, but they don't think logically. They think from the perspective of, we were slaves and we weren't given anything from the beginning. They'll counter every argument with any kind of argument that they think makes sense, although it does not make sense.
So they can grift.
Well, the grift, or just feel like they're validated in their mind. They feel like the way they think is right, the way you think is wrong, and that's it.
Because we ever since George Floyd, we've had this going on up here too in Canada. And the politicians just got a hold of it and have been going nuts with it. So of course we are. Oh my God! I saw your tweet with that woman who she looked like a crack smoker, and all the crap that she was saying. Like, this is the type of thing that the politicians are saying that we're all like. Like, every white person is like her when you listen to them. I don't know if you get that idea, but it sure sounds like it to me. Like, every time they talk, like, we're all like that crazy woman.
Yeah, like, people, like, it's like how these trainings at your job place, diversity trainings and stuff like that, they assume that the way these crazy people talk is the way that regular people are, because they have the loudest. They have the loudest voices. They screech the loudest. Therefore, they're seen as the regular person. But no, this is an irregular. They are not normal people. But that's what they think. And that's part of the reason why I'm here, because I want it to be known that, no, that's not normal. We're normal. They aren't.
Oh, it's just insane, man. But anyways, I've taken up too much of your time. Thank you very much for talking to me, and keep on keeping on. You did a great job at Blexit, man. You guys were fantastic. I love to see the way that went off. Not a hitch, no problems. It was really nice. So thank you very much, Anthony. I'll talk to you later.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Okay, bye.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the irregulars. Shout out to Attack on Titan. That's what they are, irregulars. They're not regular people. That's what's going on. Let me get to the next call here. 860, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL, it's Sonia. How you doing?
Everything's good. About yourself?
All right. Saturday I was waiting for your show to come on, or was it Wednesday? I forget. And you guys were at the Blexit event. That was so cool to see.
Yeah, it was really good. You know, that Saturday I was exhausted because we were marching, and then I was just doing so much that day. It was great, but at the same time very exhausting. Mm-hmm. So had to get a little bit of rest. But yeah, that was a fantastic event. Once in a lifetime.
Going to the White House is on my bucket list, so that's amazing.
Yeah, definitely. It was an experience.
I'm thinking I hope I get to see stuff before they tear them all down. The Lincoln Monument was still there?
Yeah, it was still there.
I hope that's not next. I thought they were done with all of that, and then they started again on Columbus Day, huh?
Yeah, of course.
Ridiculous. When I saw you guys together at the Blexit event, and people were sharing the pictures, and I saw, people from all backgrounds, like you said, different skin colors, different ethnicities, you name it, I thought about Michelle Obama's video when she said that, that what they were trying to do was for racial solidarity, and I would think that what you guys did was that, but that's not the kind of solidarity they want, right?
Nah, they don't want that. They want solidarity under the umbrella of what they think is appropriate. Yeah,
apparently. And then I was watching the Comey hearings. Oh my God, I couldn't believe that woman when she asked her if she was a sexual predator. My mouth hung open. I was like, what?
Yeah, that whole thing was crazy. It was like, why would you even ask that? Like, nobody ever said anything about Amy Coney Barrett being a sexual predator ever. So why would you ask that?
I mean, to be fair, she said that she asked that question of everybody. I don't know if that's true.
I mean, I'm not sure if it is true, but why? What's the reasoning?
And people were saying online that she's known in Hawaii. This is what they said. They said, we in Hawaii refer to Hirono as Crazy Maisie or Macadamia Nut Maisie. This is why we have 10 billion rail project that only goes to Chinatown and Honolulu. So apparently she's like their Newsom.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. And then I was thinking about Booker, Cory Booker, how he was losing his mind asking her questions too. It was as if somebody told them all, the whole bunch. Somebody said, Klobuchar, you talk about your daddy in the nursing home that died of COVID, which is unfortunate, but I'm not sure what that has to do with her hearing. And then they said, Kamala, you show a picture of the kid, that really needs health care, and that he's going to die if she gets voted in, so that we can all feel like crap, right? And then they said, Booker, you got the race card, because he asked her about white supremacy.
I mean, totally unrelated things, unnecessary. But I feel like at this point, it's just theater, because it did the same thing with everybody. And any kind of Senate hearing they have, they try to put out some new star in the Senate. They try to put out Cory Booker and Kamala Harris to get them ready to become, president and or vice president, and it worked. Here's Kamala Harris as a vice presidential candidate. That was the whole purpose of these little things, not for anything of any substance.
And then when you did that video about the battle rap, I was listening because I have my my headphones on. I'm not always watching the TV, but I had to stop what I was doing to look at these men doing that battle rap, and I thought, they couldn't just have a conversation in the park. It had to be a battle rap.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. It's like, okay, if it was a good battle rap, maybe I'd be like, all right, okay, that was good. I can't really deny it, but it was not a good battle rap. The battle rap was pretty drier than Popeye's biscuits with no drink.
Hey, like you said, it wasn't a freestyle, right? So the very least they could do is get their facts straight. It just didn't make any sense. And I thought about Jericho Green when I saw your video, because he had put out something where he said that they did some kind. I think they're going to have an event, and I think the lineup includes Monica and Ludacris, if I recall. And he said that his friend told him that had it been the 90s, that would have been a great lineup, but not anymore. So it's like they can't get Beyonce this time around. I don't understand.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on with that one.
Oh, well. Well, I'm glad that you guys are back and that you had a good event at Blexit, and it's unfortunate that the mainstream media won't cover it, but you guys keep doing what you do.
Well, thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Take care. Bye.
All righty. Let's get to a few more calls here. Thank you to Sonia for the call, and shout out to all you guys for the super chats. I appreciate y'all. I'll read those towards the end. Let me get to some more calls. All right, Matt, what's going on?
Hey, what are you doing?
Everything's good, man. What's happening?
Hey, why was those rap battle guys talking so black?
Hey, man, if you don't battle rap, you ain't black.
Maybe. It just seemed like they were trying really hard. It's like, so I'm a white guy. I finally switched back to being white, and it'd be kind of like being like, well, I think I'm gonna have toast today. It just really looked like they were trying really hard to be black.
But you got to be real tough. You got to be a super tough guy when you're talking about Joe Biden and trying to stomp for him in the campaign ad. You got to be real tough.
You got to be hard AF. Hey, I went to Vegas.
How was that?
Dystopian.
Yeah, like empty streets looking like Mad Max.
It could get some crowds, mostly because like nobody was like in shows or nothing because the shows weren't going on. But there was people at every table, at every corner harassing you about masks.
Wow, really?
They had full staff and nonstop harassing you about masks. Put it over your nose. It was pretty crazy. And we walked around and did our thing. We couldn't sit at the tables because like it was bad. And we ignored people for the most part. And we figured out that they can't really do nothing. So we just avoided eye contact but it was dystopian. I've never seen anything like it in my life.
Yeah, it's crazy. I feel like we need to get beyond this whole mask thing because I'm not really sure how long we're going to be able to sustain this. Just from a tolerant standpoint as human beings, how long are you going to just be in the mask forever? I don't think so.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. So I refuse to wear my mask on an airplane.
Oh boy.
So I guess I'm not allowed to fly Spirit anymore. So the guy, I think I had this epiphany in Vegas that I don't think everybody's miserable with this whole mask situation. I think a lot of people are like pretty happy with the whole situation because like this flight attendant, just as an example, I don't feel as though he really likes his passengers, and he took it out on me. So I own an aviation company, and I had to think really quick. So I had my mask kind of down like this, and I figured that's a compromise. You know what I mean? Like it's 50%.
On, right? It's on, but not all the way.
Yeah, I'm just breathing. I just don't want confrontation or whatever. And he says it's got to be over your nose. So I just kind of faked it over my nose, and he went on. Well, I put it back down. He came back and got into me. And so then I picked it up so that it was like this. And he goes, no, sir, it's gonna cover your mouth too. I was just trying to be funny, and just try to get him to like just chill or whatever. Dude, he went straight up Nazi, and he goes, "You got to do it. It's our policy. It's the law." And I said, "Well, what law is it?"
Right.
And he goes, "We've got lots of states that we fly to where it's a law that you have to have the mask." I was like, "No, you don't. No one's made a law for it yet. And even the executive orders are getting overturned by the courts." And he's like looking at me weird. And I said, I pulled out the seat back, the briefing card is what they call it. So AC 2540, AC 120, CFR 121-46, whatever the law is. And I said, "Where's the masks on this? This is the law."
Right.
Like, so, I interpret these laws. I do it for a living. You have to show me taking off my mask to put on an oxygen mask. If we're so dumb we can't figure a seatbelt out, you have to do this. And he goes, "Well, those were printed some time ago." And I was like, "Listen, I'm sitting in the exit row out of everybody. I'm the only one that pulled out the placard. And you're not enforcing laws, but you're going to enforce a policy. Right? And so the laws are there for our safety. Is the policy there for our safety?" And I said, "You're not a doctor. You're not a lawyer. You're not a cop. Right?" And he goes, I said something to the effect of, I went into the whole military thing. I said, "I fought anthrax for 2 months.
Wow.
In the desert. I had to wear a gas mask." And I said, I'm not dealing with your fascism." He goes, "We're done." And he goes, "You can never fly Spirit again." So I just said, "Call the cops." But we were like on the climb out and stuff like that, after that. So, but wasn't nothing he could do at the time. But I don't know. I think if people just avoided eye contact or something like that and just said, okay, or just said, "Hey, leave me alone. You're scaring me," because it is scary for someone to come up and jump in your shit.
The main thing that what I would do is just eat or pretend to eat. Like if I got a bag of Cheez-Its and a water, I'll just slowly eat the bag of Cheez-Its for the whole 2 hours. I might eat one Cheez-It per 10 minutes and slowly chew it. And it's like, "Hey, put your mask on. Hey, I'm eating right now. I can't really, you know what I mean?" And then I got some water right here. I'm drinking that. So what can you do? I can't eat with the mask on. And even when I was on Delta, they were like, "Okay, you got to put your mask on, but if you're eating, you can take the mask off." I'm like, "All right, well, let me just eat then." And I never had no problems with one mask on, with it off, because I got Cheez-Its right here. Even if I'm not actively eating, I could just do that. Huh?
So, they kicked a guy off a plane for doing just that.
Really? They did that?
Yeah. And I was really surprised. He had a MAGA mask, and supposedly that's the reason. But in Vegas, like, they would wait for for the cup to leave your mouth, and then they would tell you to get the mask off.
Wow, that's crazy.
It was something else.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I've never seen anything like it, but I don't know. That's all I got for you. This Bo Biden is something else, man.
You mean Hunter? Bo dead.
Hunter Biden, excuse me. Yeah. My son is dead. It's like, no, he's gone, and you slept with his wife. That's what you're done using that poor man. But that's all I got for you. I'm gonna listen to the rest of your show, and I appreciate you.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Yeah, man, be good.
All right, shout out to Matt for the call. Yeah, I saw that about the guy that had the MAGA mask on the plane, but I don't know if that's a situation as far as him getting kicked off because of the MAGA stuff. Because we were on the plane full of people that had MAGA hats and everything else on, and I done had MAGA hats on the plane. Usually, what you get is thumbs up. Matter of fact, I had on this hat right here when we did People Hat, and the pilot, when I was getting off, said, "Hey, love your hat, man. Great job, man. Keep doing what you're doing." You usually always get love on the plane when you got MAGA stuff on. Now, if you're flying Spirit, I don't know, man. You might be on the Soul plane. You might be having the dude that drive the bus part-time flying the plane. I don't know what's going on, but I was on Delta. Every time I go on Delta with any kind of patriotic stuff on, it's all love. I never seen anything crazy happen like that. So I'm going to look into this story about that guy that had the MAGA mask on and see what's going on. But I've never seen anybody. Usually the airport is where you get the love at. The flight attendants, the pilots, everybody give you love. But I don't know about anything else. Okay. All righty, Skype caller. PTO, what's happening?
Oh, hey, how are you doing? I wasn't expecting to get on.
Oh, it's all good, man.
Yeah. No, I just wanted to talk about, see, personally, I'm on the left, pretty far left, actually, but I listen to your channel, and I actually really enjoy your channel. It's a good way to get a new perspective. I am very much against BLM, though. I think it's an obvious, it's obvious fear mongering, and you could see it very blatantly through the mainstream media, how they taint and filter reporting on certain instances. And I see it as a device to destabilize. Would you agree with me on that?
Oh, absolutely. 1,000%.
Yeah. And something I would like to bring up that not many people talk about, it's kind of like the left and right paradigm where do you notice how, like, on the left, they typically have more of a pathos appeal to virtually every policy they take, like appeal from emotion. A lot of the times they talk, it is directly related to emotion. On the right, it would be more so of an ethos appeal, where it's all about credibility and credentials and how, I guess, like, it depends on your status, more so than the conversation itself that you're having. They judge you more so on that than like the actual substance you're talking about. I wanted to get your thoughts on that as well.
Well, I see what you mean about the emotional part. That is a lot of what happens on the left, because they're not necessarily trying to talk about what you're saying and the substance of it. They just say, well, what about this? And, start crying and just, try to get you tug your heartstrings. Now,
Yeah.
as far as the right, a lot of it is credibility, credentials, but a lot of it is just talking about the facts, just, giving the reality of the situation, trying to cut through the BS. That's what I see a lot. That's kind of what attracted me to this side when I was on the left, because I would hear stuff from the right, kind of like where you are, when you said, you're on the left, but you listen to my channel. I was the same way. And then the things that I was hearing, I couldn't really deny it too much. I don't always agree with everything, but the things that I was hearing, I couldn't really deny. So it was like, well, this is true. And I always, anything I do, any of my videos, I always put sources just so you can fact check me, because I want you to know that I'm telling the truth. So that's kind of what I see mostly on the right.
Okay. Yeah. See, the thing is when it comes to the right, whenever I have conversations with a lot of people, and I noticed this also in the in the policy platform of a lot of Republicans and Congress per se. It's listing those credentials, talking about experience, talking about how long you've done this, if you were in the military and things like that. A lot of it is rhetorical device to use, I guess, to appeal to the populace. But I really don't see why we can't just sit down and have logical discussions like you were saying, right? I mean, like, it seems like that's kind of like taking a sit down at the sidelines, and it hasn't really been hasn't really been put in play. Like, a lot of it is just rhetorical device on both sides, I guess, to appeal to their audiences. But I mean, yeah, that's what I wanted to call about.
Well, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Yeah, I mean, my thing, I see some of that on the right, but it's mostly just about the facts. That's what attracted me, was just getting down to the nitty gritty, getting past all the nonsense and getting into what's real versus what's fake, getting past the emotion and getting into the facts. That's generally what I see. But at a certain point, you do have the credibility thing come in there, because just like I was talking about the pilots, right? If somebody's talking to me about flying a plane, it's like, are you a pilot? You know anything about flying? You know anything about aviation? Oh, okay. So if you don't, then don't talk to me about this. Learn a little bit about it. Get some experience. Yeah, I feel like that is a legitimate thing. But I think we can have a conversation about whatever a subject is and speak about it in an honest way with each other, and not have so much of the other stuff get in the way. That's what I want all the time. That's why my show was open, to have those kind of conversations. Or to call you online. We'll speak to 617.
Hey, what's going on, man? Well, how many viewers do you got with oxychloroquine? 1 million viewers?
You said what now?
How many viewers do you got with the oxychloroquine video that you made?
You mean, how many views on the website? I had like almost 1 million unique.
Damn, man, you mean 1 million people getting misled by you? So how come Trump didn't get oxychloroquine, man? He got like the cocktail that reduced the load of the virus. He gave boyfriend, but he didn't get the oxychloroquine, man.
Well, first of all, he already had it. Number one, earlier in the year. Second of all, how was I misleading anybody? Did you read the article? Sir, did you read the article?
According to an article that is provably wrong by the medical expert.
Did you read the article?
It's wrong by the medical expert.
Did you read the article?
I didn't need to read it.
All right, so you don't know what the article was about.
I don't need to read it.
So you don't know what it was about.
I don't need to read it.
Okay.
I know.
So I'll meet you right quick. You don't know what the article was about. I thought the chloroquine was in there, but you don't know what the substance of the article was. So you can't say that it's misleading because all that it was a news report about the doctors, not about my personal opinion about the drug or anything like that. So it can't be misleading if I'm doing a news report. The news actually happened. If I say, hey, it was a crash on Interstate 264 in Virginia Beach, that's not misleading because the news actually happened. But go ahead.
Okay, so experts, doctors, study research determined that oxychloroquine is not a main drug to cure the disease, not even to treat it. Point blank.
Okay,
no
so some doctors say that the drug is ineffective, and some say that it's effective. You can believe whatever you want.
It's the proving of being effective is so low versus the collateral damage is so high. So it's not. It's not even worth to giving you that.
According to who?
Again to the doctors, to Dr. Fauci, Deborah. Dr. What is the other doctor that Dr. Kim in South Korea?
3 people.
They all came with the conclusion that oxychloroquine is not worth to be given to people.
Okay.
Maybe in small cases, like let's say you have 1,000 people.
Is it a new drug? Is it a new drug,
sir?
Is it a new drug?
What do you mean it's a new drug?
Is it,
old drug.
Sir? The question
was. It's an old drug, but it's not a drug that fixes.
So,
like I said, I'm not going to argue.
It's not a new drug. It's been around for a long time. People have already been getting it for other things. So you can't just say, oh, it's dangerous. You can't give it to people. They already been getting it. That's why you don't have a lot of the virus in Africa and in the Indian subcontinent because they're already on the drug because it's a malaria prophylaxis. That's what's going on. But go ahead.
I move on. I want to talk about the crime bill. You keep repeating and saying that Biden want to reduce funding for the police. That's correct or wrong?
Well, he said it. He said it himself. He said he wants to move funding from the police.
No, that's not true. He never said that. He never said that.
He sure did. You want to bet money?
He never said that.
How much you want to bet?
He said reform the police. Do you know that Biden, he was the highest supporter for police officers in the United States?
How do you measure that?
Because in the crime bill that Biden drafted, in the Senate version, he funded billions of dollars to different police departments across the United States. He hired over 100,000 police officers that ended up reducing crime. Now, you run about the mass incarceration was no part of his version on the Senate. What happened was that Republicans came to the argument that the reason that was violent crimes existed, it was because the crack cocaine trade, and that we need to punish those who were distributing crack cocaine, and they added on the bill. How many people know that? Very few.
Why did Bill Clinton apologize for it, and why did Joe Biden not apologize for it?
Because he signed it. He's responsible. It's not like Trump. It's not me.
Did Joe Biden... Now, they asked Joe Biden, you're muted, so can't nobody hear you. They asked Joe Biden, do you want to apologize the same way Bill Clinton did? He said, no, so what? I wrote it, and what? And he didn't say what you said. He said a lot of the black leaders at the time, they wanted it. So it wasn't even about anything else. He said that y'all wanted it. You got what you wanted. So what? Live with it. He didn't say, well, the Republicans, he didn't even blame them. So why are you blaming them? You're trying to cape for this man.
No. I'm not caving for.
Yes, you are, sir.
That I'm on. I need to know so people can hear me. That I'm on?
Look, just keep talking, sir, or you can get muted again.
Oh, so now I'm on?
Look, I don't got all day. Keep talking.
So what you're saying is wrong. Biden put more police officers, assault him, and
So did he apologize? And when he didn't apologize, what did he say? So what? I wrote it. Black leaders wanted it. You got what you wanted. He did not blame Republicans, but you blaming them because you went and cape for Joe Biden. He didn't even cape that hard for himself. Good grief.
who controlled the House and the Senate at that time?
It don't matter. None of that matters because he could have just said, you know what? He could have said the same thing you said. He could have said, you know what? It was the Republicans. They put it in there. It's not my fault. I didn't even want to go that far. You know, I wanted to have this and that. He didn't do that. He said, so what? I wrote it. Y'all wanted it. Live with it. That's what he said. You're caping for this man. But you know what? As you're talking, while I'm talking, nobody can hear you at all.
Right, the drug distribution part, like I told you, was the Republicans
but guess what? Move on to the next thing.
Who amended the bill. So I'm going to the next thing. So the New York Post now is the New York Post. Trump said it was a fake news newspaper, so it's no longer fake news now. What happened now? Did he change?
I never heard him say that.
Yeah, he said the New York Post. The New York Post, it was a fake newspaper, so it's not a fake news as long as it fixes his narrative.
I don't know anything about that.
As long as God is like, okay, I post hydroxychloroquine, help me to make 1 million viewers and make money. I understand. You know, there's nothing against that. I mean, you entitled to. You mean you have the right, not the entitlement, the right to make money.
Are you a hater? Do you need a loan or something? Are you broke? Are you homeless or something? I don't have no money. Can I get a dollar?
You constantly, oftentimes, you mislead people with your information along the feed their narrative.
What did I say that was wrong?
Because people want to hear.
What did I say that was wrong?
Like I said, the drug is not suitable for that particular problem.
You don't be listening. The drug, the report I wrote was about the news story that happened. It's not about the drug or anything. Like I said, if there was an accident on 264 going to the oceanfront in Virginia Beach, then the accident happened. It's a news story. The news happened. You can't say I'm misleading people by talking about the accident because it's a news story that happened. So I'm going to go ahead and get to the next one. What?
So why if Hunter Biden committed it's a crime, according to what you believe they committed a crime, yes or no?
What crime? What are you talking about?
You know, like he had a deal with Burisma. He was put in the board, was making $50K a month, and then so
the criminal action comes when you use your father to tell Ukraine to fire the prosecutor because they're looking into your company you getting paid from, and then you have a foreign official contacting you saying, hey, can you help us use your influence to get the pressure off of our back? And then 1 year later it happens, and then your dad goes on TV and brags about it. That's the actual thing. As a matter of fact, they impeached Donald Trump for just having the phone call to ask to look into it. Oh, you're trying to get foreign officials to assist with your campaign and stuff like that. So it should be the same thing for Hunter Biden. Look into him, and same as Trump. Don't let it be, sir. I'm talking. Quiet. Don't let it be nothing. No kind of double standard. Just let everything be the same. If you're gonna attack Trump for that, attack Hunter Biden for that. Simple.
No, I mean, I don't believe that no one should use their family members and influence. Like just Trump is doing it in the White House with his two sons. His daughter made the $80 million with trademark with China, but I don't want to go into the details. Why Trump controls? He got the.
All right, look, we don't got that much time. You're talking too long, so what we talking about as it relates to Hunter? All right, you're going too long. Have a nice night. All right, got a little bit too much time. Let's get to the next call. 919, you're the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, this is Tracy.
All righty, what's going on?
Hey, I am calling because I wanted to talk about Christopher Jacks. Have you seen anything about that?
No, I haven't.
Okay, it might be something that you want to look up. It came out, the report came out today, and I think David J. Harris had it on his site, about there was undercover videos of Christopher Jacks and leaders of the Democratic Party in Colorado talking about how they are pre-planning violence if Trump wins.
Oh, yeah. I think I did see that. He's part of some kind of crazy leftist organization.
Yeah, they were talking about that they had a list of billionaires that they were going to be targeting because they feel like if they target a bunch of billionaires, it'll get attention quickly. And I think the CEO of Amazon was like on the top of that list.
Wow. Yeah, they need to get the FBI called on them immediately.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't understand how, like, people can say all this stuff and just get away with it. But if it's a Trump supporter and they blow things up like that, boy, like the FBI and everything's knocking on your door.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. 1,000%. So it needs to be a same standard shared for everyone. It shouldn't just be, an over the top reaction to a Trump supporter or even a suspected Trump supporter. It should be the same for everyone.
Right. And this reporter that was interviewing him had a hidden camera, and they have it all on video. So I'm interested to see where this is going to go and if it goes anywhere at all.
Yeah, hopefully it does go somewhere, because some of these things, it's never anything that happens. It's just something, it's outrageous. It comes out and then it's just like, okay, what's the next step? Can we get the ball rolling to some arrest or something? So hopefully something does happen as a result.
Yeah, and they were talking about they have guillotines on standby because they were going to start chopping people's heads off the moment that it's announced that Trump won. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's wild. These people are nuts.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much.
Well, thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. You take care.
All right, now, bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, let's get to the next call here.
Ooh,
774, your line I'm speaking to. Yes, who am I speaking to? 774.
Oh, what's up, ABL? This is Massachusetts couple, Gift of Legends, aka Gift of Legends. What's good, man? How's everything?
Everything's good, man. Can't complain. How about y'all?
We all right, man. We appreciate you. Just trying to give support. I don't know, that caller, that dude before this lady that's on right now. Sorry you had to deal with him. That was annoying. He's obviously misinformed. Wish he'd open his Verizon and get more information correctly. But anyway.
Well, we're familiar with what he's saying. We know a lot of people that kind of go off the same talking point. They just copy like the Mockingbird news or the echoes in social media without even knowing the truth. So a lot of people are kind of take it for face value and believe it without doing their research.
And support it just mindlessly. It's all one watch and see. But I'm calling because I just wanted to give the listeners a perspective about Pelosi, man. My wife brought this up earlier. She said, what if Pelosi is setting it up so, Biden's out, Kamala gets presidency, and she can be vice president? That's like conflict of interest, correct?
That's what it seems like to me. That's definitely conflict right there.
Right, because she's the third to get into power, and then they set up the people that can vote on whether the president's unfit, which seems like it's set up for Biden. They even said it wasn't set up for Trump.
Yeah, they're planning to get him out. We all know that. He's just a pawn. He's a puppet.
So we were just going over, like, who would she end up picking for her VP, but maybe because Pelosi is the third one down, she would end up taking that spot? Or what do you think?
Well, it had to be Mike Pence, wouldn't it? I mean, I'm not really sure how that's going to work. Maybe it'll be Pelosi if they go past January when this thing's not resolved. I'm not sure how that's going to work, actually.
Yeah, it just seems like Pelosi's trying to set herself up for a position of power somehow, some way. And, people are stuck on, Biden and like that guy just did, defending him and then trying to defend the crimes of his son and all that. And it's crazy, but, people are overlooking Kamala and her crazy crookedness.
As a prosecutor.
Yeah, more people than anyone else when she was a prosecutor.
No, and Callie. We're up.
I don't get it. How people voting these people in? How are these people just listening?
Well, they didn't vote her. Well, they're voting
the
now.
people voting. You know, I don't get it.
She was the lowest out of all of the Democrats.
Yeah.
She dropped out at like 3%.
Yeah.
She didn't even have a lot of support then.
I'm dumbfounded. And then this new information that this lady said before I called about and crimes for the presidential election if Trump is president again. That's like saying we know a dude down the street trying to plant a bomb at the post office and nobody's going to do nothing about it. How is that legal? How is that acceptable? How come that can just happen and nobody goes after these against the organizations doing this? You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. That's a good question.
Right. Well, they have in a lot of the major cities they've rented out whole hotel rooms to be put in place for around election time.
Yeah, there's already
in Boston, the capital of the state we live in. They have whole hotels just rented out already around voting, around election, just getting set up to go and protest if he wins, Trump.
It's like I don't know what organizations these are, but half of the Democrats, they kind of in BLM or whoever they are, they're kind of in terrorist territory planning these things. How is that acceptable? That's crazy to me.
Right.
In our own country, from our own people. I'm mind-boggled. How come the president can't stop this or do something about that? Whoever can do something. I don't know. It's crazy. I can't believe the stuff I hear. And it's like anybody else, they would have been in jail already just for the mention of such things. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
He would have been in jail for protesting.
That's not protest.
They make the protest. You can't assume someone's going to riot.
That's right.
But I don't know if you'd be open to the idea, but you take callers, and sometimes you get it on the Democratic side or Republican side. Have you ever thought about doing like maybe a live debate session? Get a caller from each side and have a little bit of a live debate.
Yeah, I thought about doing things like that before. Like I've done it like on TV and stuff. I do that a lot, but maybe on my channel I might do something like that. Like have maybe between callers, maybe I can be involved with it. That's an idea.
Absolutely, yeah, you would do really great with that.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be a great experience. It'd be a great thing to be a part of, to give the American citizens, a platform of debate.
To safely debate, yeah.
That'd be great.
And you're good at handling people from both sides too, so yeah. I think you'd be great at that. Also, your show a few weeks ago, you had a young kid on. He did like video chat.
Yeah.
And I really think you and the other guys you stream with would be great mentors for that younger generation.
Yeah, I believe you're right. Absolutely, because a lot of them, they're coming up and they just need to kind of get pointed in the right direction. I think it would be a good thing for us to do that for sure.
Absolutely. I hope you do. And we're ready to support with both of those ideas. It would be great.
Definitely, man. One more thing, if I can just
Well, I got like no more time on the call. I'm sorry. So I thank y'all for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Thank
All right,
you.
I'll catch you next time, man. You have a good night.
All right, now, same to you.
Bye. God bless.
All right, shout out to y'all. Appreciate the call. Great call. Let's get to the next one here. All right, let's go. Let's see. All right, call you online. Who wants to speak to 657?
Mr. Logan, it has been such a long time, sir.
What is going on here, sir?
How are you doing this evening, sir?
Everything's all right. I mean, who am I talking to? Is this like a cartoon character? What's happening, boss?
We are the Democratic Party, sir. And we are very disappointed in you, Mr. Logan.
Oh, is that right?
You have been leading millions of our plantation workers off the farm. How dare you?
Hey, I mean, I got to do it because we're free. We've been free for a long time, so it's time to go to the promised land and escape the plantation.
As Nancy Pelosi instantaneously, famously said today, "We feed you. We feed you. You are not free, sir, until we say that you are free. That is the course of democracy, sir."
I beg to differ. I think that we're free and nobody can say anything otherwise. We're going to do whatever we're going to do, and the Democratic Party cannot keep us in chains. Neither can Nancy Pelosi or anyone else.
But, Mr. Logan, we have your food stamp. We have your Section 8 waiting list. I will grant you this offer, Mr. Logan. We will move you one place up in the Section 8 waiting list if you agree to tell your followers to vote for Joe Biden, the man who cannot stand without a puppet hand behind his back. You did not hear that from me.
I'm gonna go ahead and pass on that. I don't need Section 8. I think I'll be just fine doing what I'm doing. Just paying rent or mortgage or whatever I got to do. I'll be just fine. No Section 8 for me.
Mr. Logan, please come back to us, sir. Please come back to us. Come back to your home on the Democratic plantation.
I can't do it. I'm out here as a free man. I can't turn back. If I turn back, I'm going to turn into a pillar of salt. So none of that's going to go on for me.
All right. You know who this is, brother. Good talking to you again. I'll be back next week.
All right. Thank you for the call.
All right. God bless you.
Y'all are crazy. You guys with the calls are nuts. Wow. That was wild. Creative. I really enjoy calls like that. The super creative calls. Wow, that was hilarious. Yes, this is real life. Oh man, the Section 8 waiting list was beyond funny. All right.
Crazy.
508. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, what's up, ABL? How you doing?
Everything's good, man. Can't complain.
Hey, I just want to give you a shout out, man. I'm watching your live show, and I want to say thank you for everything you do. That last caller with that weird voice about the Democratic plantation, man, that dude was hilarious. Obviously, he's trolling, and he really feels strong about conservative values. I could tell in his voice, especially making fun of the Democratic Party the way it was. I've definitely been a long-time watcher. I watch everything you post on the way to work because, I got a 2-hour drive, so you definitely take up a lot of my time. I appreciate it, and I want to say God bless you and thank you for taking my call. I'm calling out of Massachusetts, so I want to say thank you, ABL, for everything you do.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
And God bless you, man. Have a good night.
God bless you. All righty, good call. Get some more calls here. 704, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to? 704, hello.
Yes.
All righty, man. What's going on?
Hey, how you doing? Just calling in. Man, just want to give a shout out, man. Saw you met you up at the Blexit Rally, and had a great time, man.
Yeah, man. It was excellent time, man. Like the rally, the White House, everything. It was definitely a day to remember, an event to remember, man. I never forget it.
For sure. And to everybody who doesn't know, I was surprised. I had no idea. You was a lot taller than I expected, man. You always sit down on the camera. I didn't know. This dude's tall. He's tall.
Yeah, everybody says that because you see me from just my chest up. You really don't see. It's like an iceberg. You don't see, the whole thing. So it's different when you see me in person.
For sure, man. Hey, man, just want to chime in, man. God bless you, and keep doing what you're doing.
And thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, everybody always says that. It's like, I know you were that tall. It's like a common thing because I'm 6'3", like right now. That's how tall I am. So, and then I'm kind of like almost basketball size, but not quite. I got to tighten up a little bit, but yeah, I'm a pretty tall guy. Okay, let me get to some more calls here. And thank y'all again for being here. You guys are the best audience on the internet. If you're not like the video yet, like it right now. If you're not subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe right now. I'd appreciate you if you did that for me. All right. All right, Valentine, what's going on?
Anthony, long time no see. How you been, brother?
Everything's good, man. How about yourself?
Good. Can't complain, thank God. Let's take it 1 week back a little bit into the pressing conundrum of the leftists, which is you know what the pressing issue is actually the fly on Mike Pence's head. The fly. Man, listen. Did you know that Gayle King actually described this is hilarious, man. She actually described the fly as a fly of color.
No, she didn't. No.
Google it right now, man. Google it. Google Gayle King, fly of color. She said, and she was like, mind you, that was a fly of color that landed on his head. Straight up.
Wait, was she serious? No.
She was serious. You know, Gayle King doesn't joke like that. She was serious. She was like, mind you, that was a fly of color that landed on his head. Straight up. Straight up. I'm like, damn, they're even bringing this whole critical race theory into the insect world. Damn,
that's crazy.
It's crazy. More insanity. Talking about this whole SEAL Team 6 being sent. I've told you before, and I'm not like that. I like to see the facts. Show me the facts, and I believe that Obama sent them to get killed, supposedly. But I want to ask you, and this was like 9 years ago when they killed Osama. I was not into politics. I didn't know what was a Democrat, what was a Republican. But the first thing that I asked myself when they said that Osama was murdered and he was buried at sea, I'm like, not even a picture of the body? Where is the body? Didn't you ask yourself that question?
Yeah, I was kind of concerned about that. It's like, man, they could just say anything. They could say, all right, it could be anybody out there or nobody out there.
Plain and simple. I'm like, just show me the body. Like, why do you have to? So, I mean, because they didn't show the body, it just gives more credence to a lot of these theories that people say, which, again, to me, they're conspiracies. You show me evidence and I believe them, but they haven't. And they just say these wild things, these wild claims without no type of evidence. I mean, if he did it, he did it. I mean, but show me the papers. Talking about this censorship, man, that is coming for us. This is just straight up. It's just for us, man. For right-leaning people. This is all. They have never ever, not even an extremist leftist. I haven't seen them getting censored. It's just right-leaning individuals. Do you think that censorship is necessarily bad for the conservative movement? I actually don't think so, and I think we are gonna come out the winners, and I think we're gonna benefit a lot from it. But what do you think it's necessarily bad?
I think that it is because you are not hearing all the information you need to hear. You're hearing one side, and regular people, they may not know to do more research and look. They're gonna just see what's presented in front of them on social media and stuff like that. So they're not getting the full story.
Which makes sense. But me as a capitalist, and I'm pretty sure you are a capitalist too. I think like it's not necessarily bad that conservatives are now having market capitalist forces are coming into the market and just forcing competition for people like Twitter. And now more people are talking about the Gabs and the whatever and the other things. I think, to be honest, and it's all because of them, the leftists. If we get our own stuff, like literally this is conservative media. Like, for example, one big one that is coming up right now is conservative hip hop. You know, Tyson James and what's the other black guy name? I forget his name. Bryson. That's hip hop exclusively for conservatives only, Christian conservative. I think that's a great thing. I think when the competition to Twitter comes out that we won't get banned on there, I think that's a great thing. I think when the competition for YouTube, like a competitor for YouTube comes out, I think that's also a great thing. So, I mean, I believe in capitalists and capitalist forces, and I think it's just great. I know you differ a little bit, but that's why I see the little grain of salt. And I'm gonna leave you with this: for the people that are really worried about the election and all that stuff, Gallup poll did a survey asking the people if they're better off now under Trump than at the ending of the Obama presidency and the George Bush presidency. And believe it or not, I think it's 56% of Americans say that they're better off under Trump. Could you believe that, man?
Absolutely, man. That's a beautiful thing.
Great news for us. But my brother, great that you're back. I was looking for you on Saturday and didn't find you anywhere. I'm like, okay, I guess he's taking it off. But you're back. God bless you. Take care, my brother.
All right, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Peace.
All right, shout out to the Valentine Show right here on the YouTubes. Again, the Valentine Show, that's who the caller was just right now. right there in the bottom left-hand corner on the screen and speaking through audio. And just a quick point about the whole thing with Twitter and censorship. The thing is that they take advantage of Section 230. Section 230 allows them to evade lawsuits for content on the platform because they're not a publisher, they are a platform. If I'm not mistaken, the way that it works, if you are a publisher, anything that goes on your website, you curate because you could possibly get sued for what's on there. You're protected against getting sued for things that are on your platform if you're just a platform, not a publisher. You can't curate content because if you curate content, now you become a publisher and you're not subject to those same benefits of not getting sued for what's on your platform. If I'm wrong about that, let me know in the comments. I know you guys will correct me. When you start to curate content and remove certain things because you don't like it and it goes against your particular viewpoints and your policy, you're blurring a line between the platform and the publisher. So those legal protections will fade away. And if you have the protections faded away, then your whole business model is dead. The way that Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, etc. works is they could put whatever they want. They can allow whatever they want on their platform because they're not the ones putting it on there. We are. It's user generated content. But when they interfere, now they're starting to editorialize and publish. So the whole thing, they're killing themselves by doing this. You know, they don't really understand that, but I think they're trying to fight it with big lawyers and big money. What's going to end up happening is you're going to have a war between big tech and their lawyers, the federal government, local government, and their lawyers. People just out there suing them and their lawyers. Is going to be a big money battle in between. That's what's going to happen. Because I think the bigger issue here is that the employees of the particular platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, the employees don't like what's going on with the conservative stuff infiltrating the website and they want to get it off. But it's going to be a fight between them and the bosses that understand that they are a platform, not a publisher, and they cannot lose their legal protection. If they lose legal protection, there'll be no more Twitter or Facebook or anything else. And that'll be bad for everybody because these platforms are very big and they reach a lot of people every single day. You're going to have less information be disseminated. I have my own website, but I need to be able to have the social media platforms to share links and get it out to a lot of people very quickly. But I digress. All right. And the lawyers do win. That's right, Noreen. The lawyers do win because they're going to eat all the way. It don't matter if you win, you lose, whatever. They don't care. They're still going to eat. They're getting their retainer. They're getting their fees on the back, on the front, on the side, everything. So it's a big mess. That's pretty much what it is. But the key is Section 230. That's all it's about. It's about law. It's about money. All right, Victor, what's going on?
Hey, thanks for taking my call.
Ain't no problem, man.
Yeah. So before I talk about the Amy Barrett confirmation hearing, I want to talk about what's happening in the NFL. Dwayne Haskins, the quarterback of the Washington No Names. Did you hear about them?
What about him?
Well, he lost his starting position, but Twitter said that it's racist.
Now hold on. Pause. Now, Dwayne Haskins, is he a black quarterback?
Yes, he is.
Okay, so black quarterback got benched. Now, who did he get benched for?
Kyle Allen.
Okay, Cal White, right?
Yes, but later in that game, though, he was benched for Alex Smith.
Right.
Yeah. And I could understand on the surface because the Washington football team is a bad offense. That's a horrible offense. So I'm not going to put the blame on Dwayne Haskins. However, though, before they even got their new coach, there were already things about Dwayne Haskins that the organization themselves had an issue with. Before they even drafted him in the first round, Ohio State was questioning his maturity. On top of that, when he got to the organization, they kept talking about his work ethic. that you need to practice more. You need to study the playbook more. Even Doug Williams, the first black quarterback to win the Super
with the
Bowl,
Redskins. Yep.
yeah, even he back in February said that he needs to practice better. He needs to study better.
Wow.
Yeah, and on top of that, it seemed like the maturity level was being supported last year when he won his first game in the NFL. Do you know what he did?
What did he do?
Before the game was over, he walked up to the fans, started high-fiving all the fans, and he was supposed to go out there on the field to finish the game.
So the game is still going on. He need to go out there for the last down, take the knee, walk to the locker room, do all that. He's high-fiving, celebrating at that moment.
Yes.
Silly.
Yeah. So you have a brand new coach. You know that he's going to come in with a new system. And the organization already had an issue with his maturity and his work ethics. And there was no OTAs because of the pandemic.
Right.
Therefore, he probably didn't understand the playbook. And even the coach Ron Rivera said that at 1-3, we probably still have a chance because the NFC sucks, and we're going to put somebody in that knows the system, which is Kyle Allen, because he was the backup quarterback for Cam Newton with the Carolina Panthers.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it makes sense to me. Makes perfect sense. But, people don't think like that. And they also don't understand that sometimes guys get benched. It happens. I mean, Alex Smith was a pretty good quarterback. The same guy, right? He used to play for the 49ers?
Yes.
Yeah, he was good at one point. I mean, but then he was on the third string. So I'm saying that happens. Guys sometimes they get benched. Sometimes guys will make it to the NFL. So it can't be. It's not a racist thing just because you black and you get benched.
And look at Joe Flacco, where he got benched for Lamar Jackson.
Right.
Josh Rosen, you don't even hear about him anymore. He's on the practice squad. He was drafted number 10 overall. Now he's on practice squad.
Wow. I mean, that's the NFL. And also, NFL, not for long, you got a short career. Cam Newton was one of the best quarterbacks in the league, but now he's on the Patriots on a very, very small deal, like $1 million veteran minimum. Yeah. I mean, life comes at you fast. You can't just not practice and not care about the playbook that you're going to just be starting forever. That's just lazy and it's dumb. And anybody says you got to be, it's racist, it's just not thinking clearly.
Yeah. And on top of that too, it's not like Dwayne Haskins is going to be benched forever, because Kyle Allen is not going to take the position. Alex Smith, because he's been out for more than a year because that leg injury.
Yeah, it was like 2 years. Yeah.
Yeah. It's if the game catch back up to him, then I could see him taking the spot. But other than that, I won't even worry about it, because probably next year Dwayne Haskins is going to get his spot back.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Anyway, so the Supreme Court confirmation. Have you been paying attention to that?
No, not really. I've seen some of the clips, but I've not been sitting down watching it, because it's kind of a foregone conclusion. They're going to confirm her. So it's like the only time I'm going to see anything about it is a clip where it's kind of interesting, where something is said.
Yeah. So there were two things that two Republicans pointed out for the past 2 days. The first day was the Republican senator from Iowa, how people were mentioning that, they're rushing the process. And he pointed out that this is the 16th day ever since Trump picked her that they started the confirmation. Everyone else started before that 16th day. So they're not rushing the process. In fact, they started the confirmation hearing earlier than the previous Supreme Court people.
Right.
Yeah. And then on today, how the Democrats kept saying that this doesn't feel right. I mean, it's election day, and it just doesn't feel right how you just being pushed in. Do you know what didn't feel right? How you ruined Brett Kavanaugh's name over a lie just
Right.
because you didn't want him in office. I understand that you tried to go after his credential, but to call him a rapist with no evidence, that's even worse.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. And throughout the whole thing, they're not talking about her credentials. They're talking about, oh, we're afraid that you may vote out the Affordable Care Act, or you're going to take away women's rights.
I mean,
Well,
it doing all kind of things that just try to paint her in a bad light. Like, it doesn't really matter because she's going to get confirmed, but all they want to do is trying to damage her reputation, make her seem like she's crazy, put things out there so the media will hop on. This is a good call, but I gotta get to a few more calls, man. Thank you for your calls always.
all right, no problem. Talk to you later.
All right, now, peace.
All right.
All right, let's get to the next call here. Let's go. 484, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to? 484.
Hello?
Yeah, 484. Hello. What's going on?
Hey, ABL, how's it going?
Everything's good, man. Can't complain.
Good. Everything's going good. Hey, I was debating somebody about when somebody was not debating, but I was talking to somebody who was trying to justify all the looting that was going on out here, saying it's been years and years of the usual excuse. It's been years and years of oppression, and they tried to protest peacefully, like saying we need change, something needs to change. Still no change, and it says a boiling point that led up to this point. And I said to him, okay, well, years and years of protesting. I said, well, Martin Luther King protested. They had dogs sicked on them and had water shot at them and were beaten up and all that kind of stuff, and they made change in history. But as far as you guys, from what I saw, you guys just went out there and just started destroying stuff immediately, then started protesting afterwards when you ain't got nothing else to destroy.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, it's just, and mind you, this is one of my coworkers that tried to justify that, and I said, and like I said before, most of the hard-working business owners, he tried to say, oh, well, they should have had insurance. It's like, okay, I said to him, well, save your car gets destroyed, and you go out, because they brought up Kyle Rittenhouse, he shouldn't have been out there. Well, I'll say, well, like any normal, decent human being, they're probably tired of the community. They're probably just protecting businesses, people's livelihoods getting destroyed. Who are you to go out and destroy somebody else's way of making money? If you know what I mean? If you're mad at the police, but they're all just emotional children. And in like all the other countries, I can kind of see, like Donald Trump said, I kind of see why a lot of people think this country, the people here, are kind of stupid. Not stupid, but unintelligent.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, but with Trump trying to, but let's see how many. I'm just curious to how many other mail-in ballots they find being tossed out. But I think they're going to slow that down or probably stop it because they know they're being watched.
Or they're going to find more. They're going to find, like, this whole thing is going to be a mess. It's already a mess. We're not even really into the meat of it yet. We're not into the thick of it. There's going to be a mess. This whole thing, you saw these crazy long lines for the early voting. It's going to be a mess.
I know on election day, November 3rd, when the actual voting polls open up, the lines is just going to be hella long.
Yeah, I'm going to try to vote early if I can. Like, I saw the lines out here where I live. The lines are crazy. I'm not going to go, like, right on the first day. It's like Black Friday. You're trying to get a PlayStation or Xbox or something like that. I'm going to just wait a little bit until, like, kind of like in the middle of the early voting process and go ahead and do it.
Yeah. That's the same thing I was thinking.
And hold on, I didn't cut you off, but I'm going to vote in person at the poll, no mail-in. I just want to say that just so everybody knows what's going on.
Yeah, because I was going to do it online. I wasn't going to do it by mail at all. They sent me the ballot, and I ripped it up and tossed it out. I was going to do it in person. I'm going to do it in person. I was going to do both online but I wasn't too sure about the online, if they can actually try to manipulate that. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to just do it in person. And when they said the voting polls open up, I'm going to just be right there early in the morning.
That's it. That's all you got to do.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, all right. Thanks, ABL. Oh, yeah, and about the rally, yeah, I enjoyed Candace Owens, Larry, and Brandon Tatum speaking there. I was like, wow, over in D.C., and I guess by the time the mainstream media figured out about it, it was kind of already too late. It's kind of good that happened, though.
Yeah, it was good because they couldn't spin an argument. They couldn't spin some kind of crazy story about it before it happened. They couldn't sick their dogs on us, meaning Black Lives Matter, Antifa, any other subversive group. So it was a beautiful thing, man. It was really great.
Yeah, and by the time any Black Lives Matter that was out there was probably already out there even before the rally even started.
Correct.
But you couldn't get a whole mob of people.
Right,
which is
exactly.
Good. Yeah, I enjoyed the video. I still watch it. But thanks anyway. I'll see you.
All right. Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you. All right. Let's go to the next call here. The number to call, 434-658-1220. If you didn't hear that number, as always, in the description box, and it's usually right here in a ticker. It'll just pop up randomly as the time progresses. All right. Let's get to the next call here. Calling on the line. What's speaker to? 817.
Hey, what's going on, man? This is Steven.
All righty, man. What's happening?
Hey, longtime fan, ABL. I appreciate everything you guys do for the community.
Hey, no problem, man. Thank you for watching.
Two things real quick. I'm going to say if Donald Trump wins this election and the Republicans maintain the Senate and anything flips, it truly is to individuals like yourself, Candace Owens, Ben Shapiro, and a slew of others that are out there that are really providing a lot of the America with what is actually happening in our government and political system. And I appreciate you guys for that.
Hey, no problem. We got to do it.
Secondly, I want to talk about the Supreme Court and what could potentially happen if the Democrats win the Senate and Biden gets elected. It could truly be the death of any kind of, I know people complain about the two-party system, but this could potentially be the shotgun blow to the leg of the slow bleeding out of ending any kind of secondary party at all. If they were to pack the courts, no others, it would give them, the Democrats, control for an extended period of time to really write any laws that they want that no conservative could ever fight against, because if it just goes up high enough, it'll just get bashed down by the Supreme Court. And so the Senate and the House will know that, and they'll be able to do whatever they want for as long as they want. And it won't even matter by the time the Republicans or any other secondary party gain control back. It could be far too late, and truly cripple this country, I think, and bring a lot of devastation to our way of life, and disrupt the ideals that this country is built on.
Now, you make a great point. Make a really great point, and that's part of the reason that I was given as far as why it's very important to get Trump back in office, because it ain't just about him. Of course, it is him, but there's much more to it. You're talking about the future of the entire nation. If you lose a Supreme Court, you lose a Senate, you're pretty much done for a generation.
Yeah, it could, and possibly even longer. Like I said, the conservatives will have free reign to do whatever they want. They can make whatever ridiculous laws, and obviously it's not going to happen overnight, just like people think that Trump ruined the country in 4 years. It's not going to happen just overnight, but over an extended period of time, if they maintain it long enough, if you're a Christian in America, it's going to completely alter how you're able to live your life. And not just Christians. I'm not overtly religious, but I certainly understand the value of religion and the positivity that it brings to most people. But I think that could do serious damage to the conservative party for, like you said, an entire generation. And I'm right there with you. And I truly hope that on November 3rd everybody that supports that party shows up in full force.
That's right. Absolutely.
All right, man. Well, that's all I got. I'm gonna let you go. I appreciate you taking my call, ABL.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, bye.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Made a lot of great points there. Absolutely. 425 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hello?
Yes, 425. Who am I speaking to? Can you hear me, caller? Caller, I can't hear you. All righty, so I don't know what you got going on. I'm on mute. Going once, going twice. Sorry, caller. I don't know what happened. I couldn't hear you. All right, let's get to the next call. 229 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hello?
Yes, who am I speaking to?
Hi, my name's Kyle. I'm all the way over in Kuwait right now. But
All
I'm
right.
from the United States. I'm over here working overseas.
All right, man. Shout out to you, man. What's happening?
Hey, man, I've been watching your videos for the past couple months. Before I kind of leaned left, but I've been watching your videos, been watching Brandon Tatum's videos. Just wanted to give you a shout out. I'm on the way to work. I love your videos. Love Brandon Tatum, David Harris, all these guys. So just giving a shout out. Really appreciate your videos and everything.
And thank you for that. I appreciate you, man.
All right. I won't take too much of your time. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Appreciate you.
Yes.
All right. Shout out to everybody over there overseas, serving the country out there in Kuwait. I wonder how hot it is already right now. It's probably still like early in the morning. I wonder if it's real hot. Talking like 100 degrees. Well, we'll see. Let's get some more calls. 580, you're in the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hello?
Yes, who am I speaking to?
This is Tammy.
All righty, Tammy, what's going on?
Hey, I just want to let you know, this Sunday, I'm going to get to participate in, first time ever, a car parade, Trump car parade. So we're all going to be on I-30. It's so exciting. And I just want to let people know, show your support. You'll reach people that you probably don't even know you're reaching, and you don't have to be a millionaire to make a difference.
That's right. That's right. That's going to be really fun. I saw some of those guys that were doing a truck parade out here. I saw them leaving. It was like, I could tell there was a whole lot of fun. You know, I'm trying to get a big truck so I can go out there and do some of them the same things. So I think you really enjoy it. And, you know, the best thing about all these events is just meeting the people, talking to everybody. It's so much love. It's no hate. It's going to be really good.
It's going to be exciting. My 16 or almost 16-year-old grandson's going, and my son. We're going to have a ball. We're going to take a lot of pictures, videos, and I just want to encourage everybody, if you get a chance to do this, do it.
That's right. 100%.
All right. Well, you have a good night. God bless you. Keep up the good work.
All right. Thank you for your call. I appreciate you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Yeah, I want to do a Trump. I've not been to a Trump car parade yet. I've been to a Trump rally. I've been to several Trump events. I've been to the White House 3 times. I've been to the actual like a big 10,000 people rally, a smaller rally. I've been a lot of different places, but I've not been to a Trump car parade yet. Now those I feel like are going to be very, very fun. I want to do one of those really soon here. I missed the one that was out here where I live because I was in D.C. 425, you're on the line. I'm speaking to.
Hi, is this ABL?
Yes, it is.
Oh my gosh! Oh wow! I'm such a big fan. My name is Crystal. I'm 42. I actually was red pilled by my 23-year-old son, so there is a little bit of hope for the younger generation. I pretty much watch you, Tatum, and a couple other people that's pretty much where I know I can get my news and kind of get the facts. But I called in today because just a couple of times recently, like just in the past 2 days, every time I'm on YouTube and I'm watching my videos, and it goes to commercial, there's these commercials coming on, and they start off, they're totally profane language. If you actually listen to them, they're actually inciting and violence. That's my opinion anyways. And they are anti-Trump, all that. But just the fact of that it's a rap song by an artist named Paris. And like they're just, it's like, because it's an advertisement that kicks in automatically in between the stuff I'm listening to. You know, I kind of watch what I listen to when I have my daughter around. But I just thought two things is, you know, is that me personally, I don't feel it's okay. And then second of all, just because it's an advertisement. But I just wanted to know, like, you know, maybe if you check it out and give a commentary on it, just your own opinion. Because I'm all about free speech on whoever's side. But my thing is it's an advertisement that's just kicking in, like while I'm washing the dishes, listening to you. It just happened to me a minute ago.
So
And
what is the song again? Who's like? I want to be able to find it.
So it's called they're advertisements on YouTube, and they're just automatically playing. But it's Paris is the artist, and I've heard two different songs now, just listening to you for the last few hours.
Okay.
Kicking in. And yeah, and they're horrible. They're horrible.
Wow. Okay, I'm gonna check it out and see what's going on.
Yeah, please. And I don't know if you can like tag me something so I know that I don't miss that, because I really do.
Okay.
With luck. All right, thank you, ABL, for all you do. You've inspired me. I'm out here in Seattle, and I'm gonna try to see if I can't get something local, you know, going on for myself. New age, new day, right?
That's right. Absolutely.
All right, thanks for all your work and dedication.
Thank you for watching. I appreciate you.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Awesome. Goodbye.
All right, now. All right. Shout out to the caller. Hey, I found that video clip of Gayle King talking about the fly that was on Pence's head is of color. It's a fly of color. I want to play this to see like exactly what she said. I still don't believe she said this. I still don't believe it. I got to hear it for myself. Hold on. I'm gonna put it on the screen, and also you can hear it through audio if you're not watching the podcast. If you just listen to it audio only, let's check it out.
I still keep going back to that fly because, you know, number one, I've never seen anything like that. It was a fly of color too that came at a very, very opportune time. And I still keep going back to that fly because, you know, number one, I've never seen anything like that. It was a fly of color too that came at a very, very opportune time. And I still keep going back to that fly because, you know, number one, I've never seen anything like that. It was a fly of color too that came at a very...
I mean, is she joking? I can't really tell because I don't really see a smile. It could be like me where I might crack a joke and I'm like deadpan. I just don't understand. I don't really get it. These people are strange. A fly of color. I feel like that's racist. But I'm going to keep on moving, get to some more calls. I'll wrap it on up, put the bow on the top. All right. Let's get to, let me see. All right, caller, you on the line. Who am I speaking to? 407?
Hey, good evening, Anthony. And first off, I wanted to say congratulations on the DC rally the other day.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate you.
Good. Anthony, I'd like to cover two things real briefly. First off, you had a caller. He was a Democrat, and you guys were going back and forth for a few minutes. And I wanted to address him directly, if possible, in the sense that is your typical Democrat, where they just want to attack, instead of looking at whatever facts you posted on your video. And you would think that Democrats, I know as a human being first, before anything else, a human being, and tell me if you agree with me or not, Anthony, if my mother and your mother, let me use my mother. If she got sick and Obama said, hey, there's a cure over here that it's not FDA approved for this, but it would work, I would want my mother to take it. Would that be the same with you, Anthony?
Well, if she wanted to, I would say whatever she wanted to do, I would want the opportunity to be available to her. Right.
And how do you call it? What it gets me is I think we had a a Michigan senator, a Afro-American lady that took the medicine that Trump had said, hey, this works. She took it, and she came out publicly and said that thanked the president for making it available a little bit more than normal because it saved her life. Do you remember that story?
I do remember that. Yes, I do. And she was upset that Gretchen Whitmer was trying to prevent her from getting it. As a matter of fact, she almost didn't get it because right when Gretchen Whitmer was on TV talking about how bad it was trying to ban it, it made it hard for her to actually get it. So she almost cost her life because, trying to play politics with something as serious as the virus.
Yes. And I'm glad you said it instead of me, Anthony, because it's amazing how the Democrats, and I'm going to point this very pointedly, in that situation, after that senator, and forgive me for not knowing her name at this moment, she was pretty much censored for thanking the president. Then we have the Democratic senator from somewhere in Georgia. I forget his name. He's an Afro-American also. He wanted President Trump to do certain things, and I've seen him on Fox a few times, I've seen him go on MSNBC and praise the president for putting money into the black community, certain programs to help minorities and Afro-American colleges and things like that. And he gets attacked. And today, the epitome of it all, Anthony, Ice Cube, which I am not a fan of at all. I cannot stand his music. I don't hide it. I don't like anything about him, but I have so much respect for him because he came out and said that he wanted to work either with the Democrats or the Republicans to help the black community. President Trump initiated some kind of program for $500 billion to help the Afro-American community, not after the election, but now. And Ice Cube said, hey, if they're willing to do it now, I want to help my people now. And there is Twitter after Twitter after video of people calling him the N-word, calling him the most atrocious names, Uncle Tom. I don't know. Are you aware of that, Anthony?
I've not seen that specifically, but I'm not surprised. That's kind of like common, unfortunately.
Yeah, and I want to point something out that I understand Democrats don't like this president because they just don't like him. But again, as I said last time I called you, Anthony, if Obama had killed, eliminated ISIS, do you think he would get a Nobel Peace Prize for that?
I should.
If Obama would reduce unemployment for the black community, the Hispanic community, Oriental, for women at all-time low, do you think he would get a Nobel Peace Prize for that, Anthony?
He most certainly should.
And it's just what gets me, Anthony, and I wish that caller would call back. Instead of just hating the other side, why can't we take a step back and say, you know what? This president, I don't care who he is, black, white, or orange, is trying to do what's good for America. Why can't we all just do what's right for America? Because right now, that young man, 2 seconds, I think 4 or 5 callers ago before the Democrats called you trying to get you back on the plantation, which I thought was hilarious. My wife is still laughing, Anthony. We were laughing because you were laughing so hard, young man. But when they were talking about free speech, Anthony, and I don't mean to divert so quickly, they are trying to do everything they can to control us in a complete plantation. As Nancy Pelosi said, we feed you. And they want to feed us the media. They want to feed us what they want to feed us, when they want to feed us. And what I don't get is, Anthony, I don't have a problem with the other side having an opinion, but why is it? And I wish somebody would answer this for me, Anthony. Maybe you could. Why is it Democrats feel that they can tell us how to think, how to be, and how to do everything when all their states, California, Anthony, is that a desirable state, or are people leaving it?
People are leaving.
How about New York, Anthony? Are people staying in New York, or are they leaving?
Leaving in droves.
How about Illinois? People don't talk about Illinois, but Illinois has the worst pension problem. They don't even want people to know that it's almost in the trillions right now. Are people staying there, or are they leaving?
Oh, they're leaving, and as a matter of fact, I see them down here. I see Chicago plates every day.
So it's like, Anthony, maybe it's me. I'm a little older than you. I'm 55 years old. If people are leaving states, and New York, Massachusetts, and and California only make up 1/5 of this country's population, okay? And Anthony, be my ombudsman for a second. Tell me if my math is correct. They're 1/5 of the population. They get 55% of all the government subsidies. Is that math add up right, Anthony, or is there something wrong with that math?
It's a little off. It's definitely a little off. It shouldn't be like that.
Okay. All right. Well, I need for you to smack me over the phone because I still don't understand why people continuously, like that gentleman, come on the phone and attack Republicans when their states have become very undesirable. I'm trying to be polite right now. And they continue to go ahead and push their agenda forward. And one last thing is, Anthony, if I was going to be your president and you asked me a question and I told you, I don't want to tell you how I'm going to run the country. I'll let you know when I'm good and ready after you vote for me. Would you be okay with that?
No, because if I'm going to vote for you, I want to know what you're going to do. That's the whole point of campaigning. I want to know what you're going to do. That's the whole point. So if you're not going to tell me, then what are you even doing? Don't run for president then.
Anthony, you cannot go back on the Democratic plantation. You use too much common sense facts. God bless you, young man, and thank you for taking my call and allowing me to vent.
All right, thank you for the call. I appreciate you.
Good night.
All right, great call. Let's get to a few more calls here, and thank you all for joining. You guys are the best audience on the internet. I got time for one more call, actually. 912, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to? 912, hello.
Hey, what's going on? I talked to you, I think it was about a week ago or something. Thanks for taking my call again. I didn't say, my name is Tom. Nice to meet you.
All righty. Likewise. So what's happening?
Oh, man, I mean, lots of stuff. There's lots of information. The information that different people get at different points in times is, it's hard to decipher. I mean, you can look at Pelosi and her interview with whatever, Blitzer or something, I guess it was today.
Was it Wolf Blitzer, CNN?
Yeah, I think that one. You know what I'm saying? But even the news cycle and the real information. I mean, it blew my mind that Kayleigh McEnany got her Twitter banned and all this stuff. I don't tweet and Twitter, and different people get information different places and different times. So it's like I watched Trump tonight. I mean, I saw a lot of usual great enthusiasm at the rally. USA, keep America great. Like, I don't understand why that's a problem.
Right. Yeah, I'm with you. It makes sense to me. But see, people, they can't see things that way. They're just so hateful. They don't really see any kind of logic or common sense.
Yeah, but I'm not super into sports, and I think we briefly touched on it the other day, but I guess the Lakers won, but they were had 18 million viewers last year or something, 5 million this year, and before you know it, it's well, what happened to the NBA? I don't know. Maybe you guys did too much Black Lives Matter stuff, and they're cleaning it up off the street in New York and stuff. I mean, there's certain things that just we want to watch basketball. You know what I'm saying?
It's just too much other stuff going on aside from what we came to see. It's okay, why must I have all the, just give me the basketball. It's all I want. I don't want all the other stuff. And because you got all the other stuff, and then it's a weird kind of season. It's not a normal time. It's kind of a subpar product. It's just why watch? What's the point?
Right, but you would also think that kind of people have more time and free time and would enjoy that. And I know it got disrupted in terms of the school season. Corona or whatever came on. I guess there's certain names you can call it, certain things you can say. I mean, it's even the whole Biden information that's coming out. Well, whoa. These pictures are inappropriate. You can't say this or do this. And it's whoa, well, this is the actual reality of what's going on and what's gone on. I don't think it's new news to me or you, but it might be new information to a lot of people.
Right. Yes.
I don't know, the information and even the battle with it. I mean, YouTube and what you can do, what you can say, what's appropriate, what's inappropriate. It's hard to like walk this thin line of, because you obviously don't do anything like that I would consider remotely like wrong in the violation of rules and what you say or don't say. You just talk about kind of stuff that's going on. I mean, and people can take it all kinds of ways, but it seems like it's hard to just talk about what's like really going on, I guess.
Exactly. 100% correct. But hey, thank you for your call. I got to get to the end of the show here. I appreciate you for calling in.
All right, no problem. Thank you for taking my call the other night and tonight. I will continue to watch you and listen to you. And I mean, I appreciate you just doing what you do. I mean, a lot of people do. 'Cause I feel like you're very open and honest and straightforward. I mean, once again, I don't look at you based on your skin color, but that's the way that like a lot of people judge stuff, which
I got you.
Doesn't make sense.
Thank you for your call, man. I appreciate you. All right, now.
All right, bye.
All righty. Okay, that'll be a wrap for the show. If you couldn't get on, I'm sorry. You got to blame the white man for that. It's not my fault. I'll catch you guys next time as far as the calls. So don't go nowhere, though. I've still got a few more super chats to get through, and then wrap it on up, put the bow on the top. You guys are the best audience on the internet, so go ahead and give me a thumbs up if you've not done so already. Like the video, share the video, and also if you're not subscribed yet, I don't know what you're waiting on. It's totally free. Go ahead and do that for me right now. And when you subscribe, click that bell as well so you get notified whenever I go live and or post a new video. And all right, super chats, I'm gonna read those and then we can close it on down. So y'all hang tight. Let me see. Thank you to Cynthia Cotney, who says, shout out the Amber Alert, help save a child. Yeah, the Amber Alert blew my phone up. It's coming, heart about jump out my chest because I didn't expect it. Shout out to Gary Thanos, who says Bush Jr. / Quelling Obama / Biden protected Osama bin Laden. Obama bin Laden alive and well in Iran. Cheryl H., thank you for becoming an ABL supporter. Also to Wolfgang76 for becoming an ABL supporter. Thank you to Inverted Earth for the thanks heart emoji and donation. Shout out to Sarah Papesh, who says, I'll be working the polls on election day from 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. and I work in law enforcement, so I'll be checking for fraud. This military veteran is praying for strength to get through that day with little caffeine. Hey, yeah, prayers out to you. You're going to make it, and thank you for volunteering, making the big difference. Yeah, look out for that fraud because they're going to try. So thank you for being out there on the proverbial front lines, or on the real front lines. Ain't no proverbial. Let me go back to where I was. Let me see. Thank you to Monica Ballinger for your Superman emoji donation. Thank you to Orestes Moja, who says, where we go one, we go all. Thank you to Will Redding, who says, I hear Biden is having the ghost town hall on ABC. He's looking to lock down the tumbleweed vote. Hilarious. Watts, thank you for your donation. They say ABL equals America's most trusted news source. I appreciate that. Buck versus Windshield says the party seeks power entirely for its own sake. We are not interested in the good of others. We are interested solely in pure power. George Orwell, 1984. Thank you to Barker Rick 71 for becoming a member of the ABL squad. Thank you to Lindsay Monty, who says, shout out to my son Aiden, who's watching right now. Thanks, ABL Trump 2020. Yeah, shout out Aiden. Big up to your boss. Butt versus Windshield says, OMG, so good. Who is this with the laughing emojis? That was a guy that called in with the crazy voice. Monroe Doctrine says, PlayStation is now recording private parties and you can get banned. I think I saw your email on that if that was you. It's equivalent to you making a private Facebook phone call and getting banned. Hope someone doesn't get offended. Yeah, that's why you got to use Discord. Hopefully Discord doesn't do the same thing. That's really the wave right now rather than using PlayStation parties. Thank you to Monique Grady for becoming the ABL supporter. And aren't PlayStation parties kind of insecure anyway? I won't even use that. I use Discord if I was especially a young person like gaming online, I would use Discord with friends, like on a private server that nobody else knew but us. Leo Mazzina says, for those lefties, the Hatch Act was not violated at the White House. No, it was not violated because first of all, number one, the president and the vice president are exempt from the Hatch Act. That's number one. But even if you say, okay, it was other employees involved, whatever, it wasn't no rally, it was no political, it was just a regular event at the White House. You can have White House events, there's no problem. That's no problem. We had a rally outside the White House, not inside the White House, but we'll move on. A shout out to my man, Jericho Green. Thank you for your donation, boss. Jericho Green, he says, shout out to the world's finest Navy. Hurrah. Yeah, shout out to the Navy. Big up. Shout out to Evodio Tovar, who says, I'm not sure if you spoke about it tonight, but did you hear about Merriam-Webster dictionary adding a revision to the word preference? It apparently insults the LGBT community. This revision was added today because of Amy Coney Barrett confirmation hearing. You know what? I saw the whole thing about Amy Coney Barrett and, preference, and she apologized for that, which she shouldn't have, because she said something about sexual preference. At a certain point, it is sexual preference. You can choose to be gay or straight. Maybe somebody is gay that didn't choose to be gay, but you can't choose to be gay. You got guys who go to the penitentiary that aren't gay on the street, never had a gay experience, but when they go to jail, they choose to be gay. Or maybe they are gay and they choose to be straight when they're home. Because isn't sexuality about who you have sex with? Because if you just had a male friend that you didn't have any kind of physical, contact with like you do with a woman, then you wouldn't be gay. You'd just be friends. You got people if you're a man, you got male friends. When you go to that next level of doing something, different, then now that's gay. You could choose that, can't you? You can choose to be gay or straight if you want. You can also be born normally as straight because that's how life is. Maybe you can be born gay, I have no idea, but you can choose one or the other. So yes, you can choose. But I want to see what they said as far as, the word preference there in the dictionary. And also, they say you can choose your gender, but you can't choose sexuality. But I digress. Thank you to Mixed Girl POV for the thumbs up emoji. Shout out to Kendra Buttersworth, who says, why is Bill Barr not prosecuting? That's my question. Thank you to Lily for your donation with the keep it up workout emoji. Thank you to Kendra Buttersworth, who says, Republicans in positions of power are failing to defend our president and our democracy. I'm getting angry with our elected officials that are not rallying around our president nor take down the left either. Thank God. Thankful for Rudy, but he isn't elected. Yeah, I agree. I'm with you right on point. Shout out to my man, Cushy79, who says, Ice Cube called a race traitor on Black Twitter because he's working on platinum plan with Trump. Watch Ice Cube vote Trump now. I'm going to call it now. And he might, Ice Cube might vote Trump, Killer Sushi. Anyway, aside from this whole thing going on with calling Coon Uncle Tom, that might just make him come out and say he does work for Trump. He might have been in the closet before, but this been pushing him out the closet. Kendra Buttersworth says he is drunk. Hey, I didn't say that. You said it. And thank you to Coleman Rose, who says, ABL, you're amazing. Thank you for being you. I'm proud to be watching your content. You are an essential part of my day. I appreciate you for that. Thank you. All right. I'll try not to be gone for as long as I was over the weekend, but that was pretty important. I had to go do that. I had to be there for everybody, be there for myself. But yeah, I'll be putting out more videos tomorrow, of course, and all about the weekend. I'll be back live again Saturday. I won't miss it this time. I'll be here. I don't have no events to go to, so I'll be here Saturday doing my live show at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And I'll be most likely live on Brandon Tatum's channel tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I think that's pretty much all I got right now for you guys. Thank y'all again for being here. You guys are the best audience on the internet. This show will be available on your favorite audio streaming platforms, whether that be Apple iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, Anchor, or whatever, audio only. So the video won't be bearing down on you as far as the bandwidth. You can search for that through the link in the description box, and also just search ABO Live on your favorite audio streaming platform. And shout out to all the moderators doing a great job tonight, keeping the trolls in check. I see True Helper. I see Killer Sushi. I see the Rapper 10,000. I see Bill from the Hills. I see everybody in here. I appreciate y'all for what y'all do. Alrighty, so that's pretty much all that I have right now for you guys. I'll be back again live tomorrow on Brandon Tatum's channel, and I'll be live again Saturday right here on this channel, same time, 8 p.m. Eastern. And that'll be it for me. Y'all go ahead, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out. And peace.